All right, welcome everybody. It's me, Burrito. We're back. We're at level 90 now. So we're going to be doing a couple things, but first from last time, I can ready my droid unit now. So yes, I wanted to close the loop on that one. The probot is out. I'll keep its probing to itself. Only consensual probing in this stream. Yeah, so I'll use that for something. I don't know if it's going to get any work done today, but we have that. I was a little bit more worried about Nim's theme park than I should have been, I guess. But we have that for other stuff, which we'll probably use it. It'll help speed up some longer fights. Also, what I wanted to bring up is, so you see I still have this DNA extractor in my inventory. This is from Nim's theme park, going around and trying to extract stuff from the miners. This gets stuck in your inventory. You can't destroy it. I think this is how I get rid of it. If you get like an empty container, like a backpack, throw it in there. I think you could delete the backpack. Yeah, so if you ever get the DNA extractor from them and you just can't get rid of it, it's bugging you, just get an empty container. It doesn't have to be a crafted backpack, it could be a lidded one. Throw it in there and then you can delete it. I don't know why it's like that, but it's, classic Star Wars spaghetti. Delicious. All right, but first we're starting off with the quintessential level 90 quest if you're on Legends, due to the rewards that it grants you, which is the Secrets of the Syren theme park. Those of you who remember this from live probably remember it's not really important, worth doing. On Legends, though, it grants you the G9 Rigger pickup ability, which works like the snow speeder that I've been having, where you can store locations to travel to later. This one you'll be able to store 3. The prerequisites for it is it's recommended to be level 85 or higher. Generally, you're going to need at least 2 people to do it. One of them needs to be a pilot. This is for the very last segment. You will need some piloting in general, though. I'm going to try and do the whole thing with one character just to see if it's doable, but I have another character. I have my smuggler parked just in case if we really do need that second pilot. But I am here at the Tyrina Cantina. Were these always floating off the ground? I've never paid enough attention to know. Whatever. I'm here at the Tyrina Cantina to speak with Vegan Madish. This is the NPC you speak with if you are a rebel to start this quest line. If you are unaligned, you'd go to the Theed Cantina. If you're Imperial, you would go to the Bespin Cantina to speak with Javon, Mansul, and then Tylogen's the neutral one. People who are neutral or unaligned know that you will need to join either the rebels or the Imperials to complete this theme park. You can always abandon your faction later from a faction recruiter in case you don't want to stay aligned on that character for whatever reason, but you do have to opt into a faction, at least temporarily. We're here with Vega, and he says, I need your help. I have a situation that requires my attention, but I cannot attend to it properly. Would you be willing to help me out? Perhaps if I have more information. I've just gotten word that a pilot is missing. We have the coordinates to his last location. It was on Rory. Would you be willing to run out there and see what happened? He may be hurt in danger. I will go investigate. Very good. Go to these coordinates on Rory and see if you can find anything out. Then report back to me. Oh, if he had cargo, maybe you could find out what happened to it. That would probably help him out a lot. So we have to head to Rory and see a downed ship. I believe, regardless of what faction you go with, this first part's the same. The factional differences more relate to bunkers we're going to be visiting later, or I guess I should say locations we're visiting later. As well. Oh, thank you for following, Minzers. As well as some NPCs we're going to be dealing with. So I should just drink my Acaragum now, get a little speed boost. We do have an entertainer buff. The entertainer buff is no longer featuring XP increases because we're level 90. We don't need that right now. If we were grinding space, of course, we want that experience increase, but don't really have use for it at the moment. So I just have armors on it, meaning kinetic and energy protection, action cost reduction, because I just still E3 even with the inspiration procs, and finally critical hit chance. Might drop the action cost reduction later, but thanks on the congratulating for me hitting a 90. Yes, I am enjoying Melee Officer. For context, I played it on live a little bit, primarily for PvP and messing around with that. I've never really played with it in PvE. The things that I'll say about my 1 to 9 experience as a Melee Officer is that there were occasional moments where I missed having or relying on range weaponry just for like shooting off enemies at a distance quickly. But at the same time, I always run up to loot them anyways, so it's not a huge time loss. Because I'm a chronic looter, especially in this game where so much of the economy and what you earn is driven by your loot, even while you're leveling. So it really honestly sped things up because I didn't have to run up and loot most of the time. Things would just die within my natural like 10-meter loot range. Um, Survivability, it was kind of hard to tell because we were over leveled for everything. I will say that Nim's was a lot easier than I expected. Nim's girlfriend definitely hit really hard, but overall, I felt that it was pretty manageable. Like, all the rest of the bosses for that theme park are easily soloable with this build, which, again, I dumped Constitution for this build. My sitting Constitution right now is only 390, granted I'm not fully buffed with all foods, but 390 is pretty low. Like, 16k HP is very low, even, like, without being fully buffed. That's because I'm missing about, what is it, like, 300 Constitution for my gear. It's just something I'm aiming with. But I've been less squishy than anticipated, specifically against creatures, which those are the more dangerous kinds of the melee types, right? So having the high kinetic protection and the chance to parry has been pretty helpful. Science Playing Officer on Live was all-day PvP event. You're in Huns. Yeah, we talked about it, I think, last stream, and it's going to be up on YouTube next week. Playing Hellstorm Officer in PvP is super fun. Unfortunately, the meta doesn't really condone running Hellstorm if you don't have a General's Aspect Officer in the group, and even then, 2 General's Aspect Officers, if you're leaning into the meta, is still more desirable. But if you're running by yourself, or you know, the General's Aspect role is already covered, the Hellstorm's super fun to play. It's more challenge to solo level the Rebel theme park as melee. Should be doable, though. Sub gens. Yeah, we're going to be doing Rebel theme park later. I think I'll probably go to Kashyyyk and do Kashyyyk stuff first. I want to see how hard NK is as a solo, weird melee officer build. All right, so we got to the crash site. We picked up stuff. It just automatically adds spice and a heavily encrypted datapad to my inventory. And I don't have to click anything else, so I guess we're done here. Didn't have to click anything. All right, well, let's leave. Aesthetically, I also really like Melee Officer. Like, Pistol's really cool. It's iconic because of Leia and Rex from the Clone Wars. Carbines is really fun and aesthetically pleasing. Like, I think this look goes really well with the Carbine that I chose, being the Firestar here. But, I don't know, just running up and standing in the middle of all of your AoEs, especially since you get a AoE root ability, so we're running up, rooting everybody, and then just standing there and letting them all eat artillery, is pretty, like, satisfying for my gamer monkey numbers brain, you know? If I had to, like, rate it, though, it's definitely not the strongest melee in the game. That's because Smuggler is just unfairly powerful. Melee Spy is also very good. Let me get that in there. Melee officer's power potential is definitely higher than the other officers because of how melee weapons scale. But not a lot of the abilities are... Outside of the abilities you get from the expertise tree, those being, of course, the melee ones here, there's really no appeal to, like, any of the other abilities going into melee range. It's a nice option to have, though. Like, for example, I heard legends that a melee commando build is out there in the ether that exists and is functional. I don't know how they do it, though, because you can't use the majority of your abilities while wielding a melee weapon. So... What? Was this guy here before? Is this guy like a event? Why is he here? Whatever. Maybe I'll look into that guy later. I don't know why he's here, but I'm gonna stick on the Syren theme park thing. Welcome back. Did you find anything interesting? Yes, I found this datapad and this sample. I think it's spice. It's funny because I'm carrying a bunch of spice in my backpack. A spice? So really interesting. I think you should get that analyzed. I know a doctor who will analyze it for you. What about the pilot? Oh, I'll get his datapad slice and follow up on that. I think the spice is more important. I like how this guy doesn't really show any concern for like the pilot's safety. More important than a Mycin pilot. I'm glad that they pick up on that. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, I think you should follow up on that spice and let me worry about the pilot. This is getting suspicious, but I'll do as you ask. I'm sorry, I don't mean to put you on guard. I just don't like knowing that there's some unknown spice out there when some child could get their hands on it. Here's a doctor's clinic. I'm sure he will be there. What child is going to wander out to the middle of Rory, dig through a crash site, and then find spice? Barely anyone lives on Rory. Also, we've only seen one child in the entirety of the galaxy the entire time this character's existed, so I'm not even sure children are real. Either way, we gotta go to normal. Wow, it's Dark Helmet. Yeah, that's probably as close as you can get to Dark Helmet. Pretty good. Not sure why they run Carbine, though. This is a Carbine officer? No, it's a Structures Trader. Even more confusing. Gotta commit. Gotta play a dark side force user. Lean into the power of the Schwartz. Alright, back here in normal, our favorite. Not narratively, but aesthetically pleasing. Alright, so we're going to be speaking with Dr. Vang. Which his name's Edvar Vang. Hello, may I help you? I have this spice sample that I need analyzed. Well, let me see it. Find it in your kid's room? Dude, whoever wrote this quest is really fixated on kids and drugs. I keep hearing more and more stories about that. Kids these days. Wait a minute. Where did you get this? Whoever wrote this questline must have grew up in the US during the DARE campaign in the 80s and 90s. That's all I can say. That or they were a parent during that era. Anyways, I found it on a ship that crashed. Why did you bring this to me? This is too hot for me to touch. Do you realize how much danger this will bring me? Get out of here. What do you mean? Is this illegal? Is it dangerous? It's dangerous to me. Out. If you really must find out what that stuff is, go talk with a friend of mine. He should know more about this. Take this data and get out. Why does everybody know more than I do about this? Talk to... Okay. I think it dumps a waypoint in your data pad. Yeah. Max Creed's home on Tatooine. It's east and... What, so Isley? You can tell how old this quest line is. It was updated enough to have journal implementation, but it doesn't really tell you where to go until you, like, pull out the waypoint in your data pad. I love how this guy's spice expert is Mouse Isley. Very, accurate. You son of a bitch. Where are you? Where did you dismount me from? Oh, you're... ass. I can't let them find drugs on me or else they're gonna charge me a fee for it. Alright, so they are back in this house. Heading on in. Oh no, he's dead? It's not even an object you can click on. It's just a bottle laying on the ground. Alright. We've looted a data pad, though. Can I read it? This data pad has a message for you. Quote, this is our only warning. Stop looking into the source of the new spice. If you do not, this will happen to you. Okay. Well, we're gonna go back to Vega, apparently. Wait. Okay. I didn't realize that was an inlet. Or I didn't realize there was a cut-in in this wall. I thought this was just floating here. Appreciate it. I hope I was able to accurately describe melee officer. And when I say things aren't, like, in the meta, don't worry about it. Unless you're, like, trying to get in with, like a very serious PvP guild, no one's just gonna care if you're running meta or not. You might just not be invited to every random group you show up to flashpoints for, but who cares? Alright, we're back with Vega. I finally have some information for you. Someone named Kalia contacted me and told me that she had information on the missing pilot. Evidently, he's lost in the wilderness. She has the coordinates if you go over and talk to her. Did she give you the information when she contacted you? Well, she didn't contact me directly and doesn't want to be seen talking to me. I'm a wanted man, you understand, one of those rebel terrorists and all that rot. As am I, my friend, but I'm interested in finding out what this is about. Where is she? She's a regular at Narmal's gambling hall. I'll give you a waypoint back to Narmal. It's about, yeah. They did a great job on the Ender type backpack, too. Oh, yeah. I have that at home, as in one of my houses. But yeah, it is about how much fun you have. Like, there are some people who enjoy, quote, speed running the heroics, and they'll encourage, if not mandate, certain group compositions and then certain builds within those. Which, you know, if you just want to get heroics done as fast as possible, like as a grind, or you know, don't care about that, then or you enjoy like leaning into meta, like a hard meta like that, go for it. But you definitely don't need to run the sweatiest comp to complete any content in this game. And a lot of builds can be successful in PvP. Like, no one's going to be like, I need a Jedi in my group. But you can still show up to PvP and contribute as a Jedi. Force Intercept's handy. Because no one wants to shoot you and you're tanky, you're the best at securing kills. So if like someone drops down incapacitated, you can run up and guarantee that kill more easily than other professions. All right, we're here at the Narmal Hotel. I'm gonna talk to Kayla Min. She's in here somewhere. I'm gonna guess. Oh, can't go in there. Oh wait, isn't Han in there or something? No, but Cole is. Everyone remember Cole? He threatened me in the NIMS theme park. Let's see, is she in here? There she is. Why, hello there. Is there something that I can do for you? I could flirt. What happens if I flirt as a female? Just wanted to say hello to a lovely lady. You're very sweet, but I'm waiting for someone. Oh, okay. This kind of waves you off. You can tell me about that pilot you saw. Ah, I know who you are. I'm glad you came to see me. I was beginning to wonder if you would. Listen carefully. Head directly northeast. It's north of some ruins and west of a statue head. Here are the coordinates if you prefer that. I like how she's like, listen closely to my instructions. Here's a waypoint. It's probably faster to go to one of the player cities nearby than it is for me to drive the whole way. I think that one of the strengths about Star Wars Galaxies, and I've talked about this before, is the ability to do things non-meta. Having gone back to Star Wars The Republic and seeing how much they've focused how classes play, it's nice to have options again. Because like all the gear forms up in the same way, so there's no real thought in putting your gear together other than grinding out in Star Wars The Republic. And every couple of levels you get the choice between 2 to 3 options sometimes, and usually they're not very game shaping. There's just like, do this if you're doing PvE, do this if you're doing PvP, do this if you're playing by yourself a lot. That's how all of the options feel like. In this game though, it's like, hey, do you want to do some weird ass build? And then yeah, go for it. Like, you can do gear, get buffs, change up your expertise, so in some professions more than others, and go do a meme. So like, a friend of mine who plays the game is almost only a smuggler. He really loves just jumping people and pantsing them as hard as possible, just to see like how he could push the build. So like, his gear is just luck, strength, and I think precision or something. And he dumps basically all survivability to do as much damage as possible. And so his like expertise tree is just like pistol whip for the full duration, and then all damage. Just because the idea is like, can I kill them faster than they can kill me? Like, regardless of the situation. He runs into a PvP zone with like 16k health, but he knows the risks. He knows what he's doing. Miss the old expertise trees in Star Wars The Republic. They cracked down heavily. Yeah, I think we've talked about that a little bit before, but back when they had the skill trees, I did run the hybrid Sentinel or Marauder build for a little while, but I mostly ran the hybrid Gunslinger Sniper build, where you'd go a little bit. You get some of the dot tree and then some of the AoE tree. That was fun. Okay, so we have... we're here. I think this is our first bit of combat. If you're doing this in a group with multiple players at the same time, If you walk over this all simultaneously, you'll get a lot of NPCs jumped on you. Luckily, they are um, all like level 50-ish. But, you know, if you spawn a billion and say you're doing this with crafters, having like one trigger get shot up by like 20 black sun at the same time, not ideal. All right, so we took them out. Here's more. You have some action costs in there too. Yeah, I think he was running the heroism set just because he was just like, if I have to worry about my action, then I'm already gonna die. So he wasn't too concerned about it. What he did was he was running ice cream, fried ice cream for the action recomp. Oh yeah, so yeah, now we have to go all the way out here, which I love the journal entry. Go to this waypoint, and then it also generates you the waypoint. No, I'm not driving all the way there. We're gonna go to that player city nearby. I just need to. I think you have to move away from that area a little bit to call my TV. This build's really funny though. We went to Flashpoint on Mustafar once, and he was in that build, and I was there with my smuggler, and so basically I was tankier. And so I'd bait enemy like spies out, and then he'd just delete them. Or we had two pistol whips between us, so his pistol whip was on cooldown, I whip, and vice versa. So we were like easily 2v3ing people. It was really funny. And then later we went to a later flashpoint, I whipped out my medic, and then I was just pumping heals in him, so then like the lack of his tankiness wasn't a problem. Do the power tech abilities with tanky expertise for bounty hunter. Oh yeah, I remember the Power Tech Vanguard hybrid was doable between like the middle tree and the tank tree. You could also do the other damage tree, but I remember the middle tree. I love the middle tree of Power Tech. Which I think was I think it was like their flamethrower tree or whatever. I played Vanguard, so I'm more familiar with that. I think that tree was called Tactics or something. It was basically just do your cone of effect constantly, and you just can't be stopped. It was so fun in PvP. Hybrids were just, yeah, like you said, hybrids were extremely good in PvP. Like, I know the Sorcerer Sage builds for hybrids in PvP were pretty good. Okay, we gotta go find Tovar Blackmore. Using the overhead map, I see where he is. You could also do /target to find him, probably, but... So we gotta go in here. We're familiar with all these bunker layouts now, having done all of the Legacy. DPS tank hybrids were best, yeah. Well, tanking in PvP was just fun in general, so mixing in some damage was nice. Going full tank was never felt really that rewarding, even like if you're playing with other people. It was more rewarding still just to dip into damage. Give me your data pad. Hi, Tovar. Please don't kill me. I have information that you probably want. Go on, then talk. I have been analyzing the spice that you have. And? That I'm not sure of. It seems to have pretty impressive healing qualities, but I haven't isolated its exact function. What I do know is that it appears that the Black Sun want a piece of the action. What does the Black Sun want with it? Most rare medicines are publicly available. Not this kind, that's what you don't understand. It's being smuggled and hoarded by the Rebel Alliance. They must know where it comes from and are keeping it for themselves. The pilot that you are looking for was smuggling the spice for them. I like how, as a Rebel player, I have doesn't surprise me in the least. Those rock sucking terrorists would do anything. What kind of insults rock sucking? Are they trying to say like egg suckers, but then they're like ESRB? Really, I find that hard to believe. No, I don't believe you. You work with the criminals that want the spice. You could say anything. I was gonna do the really. I find that hard to believe. Believe it, the Black Sun will actually let the average person get a hold of this life-sustaining spice. Once I know what it does, for a price. I gave you all the information. I probably should take this and go. Gotta go back to Viga Medish. Now I have to commit to damage date. Yeah. I was, I'm working on some stuff, and I was trying to figure out how origin stories work with combat styles, which work with combat disciplines. Because I have the disadvantage of having pre-existing knowledge with that game. So, like, when I came back to it, I was thinking classes, advanced classes. And I did come back to it when it was, they did the railroad tree, Whereas like you still pick your class and advanced class, but then you get stuck on the railroad tree, but you get utility points to spend. The current iteration's pretty much like the railroad tree, but now you don't have points to spend. You just add this level, pick this thing or this thing or this thing, which is even more simplified, for better or worse. But I shit you not, I was reading fan sites for like an hour to figure out how combat styles work and how you unlock them, because I was really confused why like bounty hunter, smuggler, trooper, and imperial agent had access to 8 combat styles, but then like the force users only had access to 4. And then it's like, oh, you unlock them via alignment, then why don't you unlock the others via alignment? And you could say, well, it's a narrative thing. Like, it wouldn't make sense for a Jedi to be able to immediately use, dark side stuff. So you got to go unlock it by committing to dark side on a character. But then at the same time, you could argue, yeah, well, it doesn't make sense for a Republic trooper who's getting standard issued military gear to be using compiled bounty hunter tech or imperial stealth technology. Sacrifice custom builds for greater balance. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the inevitability of modern MMOs. Customization dies for balance. Because everyone's always complaining, oh, my class doesn't do as much DPS as the others, or this is so much better in PvP than this one. I feel like it's the natural death of player expression when it comes to mechanics. Because 14's that way. Final Fantasy 14, you have your starting class and you get a job, and there's no skill trees. There's no gearing other than doing materia, which is minor min-maxing. It's, this is the best gear, these are your abilities, and this is how you play. There's no option. Back with Vega. We got some stuff to smoke the spice with. Got a Shisa. Smoke up. I heard about what happened at your last assignment, Vum. Please understand that I had no idea it'd be so dangerous. Well, whoever gets you information needs to be incarcerated. I would hope not. It's a miracle that I survived. Well, I won't be back until you can find out better information. I'm going to say the incarcerated one. Measures have been taken to ensure that our intel is more accurate. In fact, it's already paying off. A lead? Yes, indeed. It appears that the missing pilot had a chat with an information broker on Talus a few days before he was shot down. It was my hope that you would be able to have a chat with the broker and see what he knows. Sounds acceptable. Who is he? Excellent. He's got one of those street names, Wire. He's a Bothan, fairly short for his species, with pale fur. Weird. You should be able to find him in the Derek Cantina. Does have those shared abilities from other classes. That's the extent of customization. Oh, yeah. See, I haven't reached max level in 14, so I haven't really worried about it too much. But since I am, like, most of the way to cap and there's no, like, skills, I just kind of assumed it's just a railroad. Like, I get it, but it sucks, man. Like, as somebody who grew up playing role-playing games where, like, you had a level of customization that, to a fault, like, you could screw yourself over. And the system itself was a learning experience and like, open enough to you to express yourself and really make a character. It's kind of annoying it railroad into archetypes. Like, I was reflecting on Star Wars The Republic earlier today, and I realized that I know that they were never going to introduce another class to the game because of how origin stories are. There's too much development weight to, like, do that, and they even admitted to it, like, yeah, we're not doing that. Hey, it's an invasion. But it's a real shame that Pugilists is a fantasy that died, apparently. Like, you can't play a Terras Kazi master. Star Wars Galaxies is the only Star Wars game besides the Terras Kazi game where I can think of hand-to-hand combats featured in any way. Which is a shame, because the Clone Wars animated series, the Gandhi one, where Mace Windu loses his saber and this goes fucking AWOL on all the droids, was awesome. You remember having a heal on your tank from Magic Class? Yeah. All right, here's Wire. We're shorter than him, so what can I do for you, stranger? I'm looking for an acquaintance of yours. Who would that be? Someone smuggling sensitive things, if you know what I mean. Actually, I have no idea. You should probably leave me alone. Looking for acquaintances, a smuggler that you had chat with for a while. I talked to many pilots. You have to be more specific. I believe you shipping contraband for the rebels. Oh my god, it's giving me the GCW introduction. You're wasting my time here. If you excuse me, I have a show to watch. Acquaintance, smuggler, spice. Yes, I know who you're talking about, and I know who you are, Vum. Then why are you making me beat around the bush, motherfucker? Don't be so obtuse. What I don't know is what you want from me. A few days ago, you talked to him. He was shot down. I know. Go on. I searched for the wreck, but couldn't find him. Was hoping to help with that. Perhaps, but in this part of the galaxy, doesn't come free. How much do you want? This information doesn't come with a credit price. For what I've heard about you, you're quite the hero of them. And right now, that's what I need. What do you need done? The Black Sun is a menace in the system lately. Anything that isn't guarded by a fleet, they try to get their grubby little hands on. Well, I can't afford an army, and I'm expecting an extremely important shipment in a bit. I want you to make sure that it makes it here safely. All right, so this is the first space mission. I believe I can do that. I have a score to set with them anyways. I don't believe you need to be ace for this. I think it's like tier 3 or tier 4 is recommended. We're about to find out. I feel like in the modern MMO space, your character's gameplay mechanics aren't always reflective of the story you want to tell. It's a shame that they don't allow for more flexibility. I understand game balance is important, but I really wonder how much like player like actual balance between or the perception of balance at least plays into like retaining player numbers. You know what I mean? Like, does it really have that much impact on subscription or activity? You know, if black mages in Final Fantasy XIV are doing 100 more DPS than a red mage, is it really that big of a deal? Do they really need to be identical? And even with all the railroading they do, there's still imbalances. There are de facto tanks in Final Fantasy that are better than other tanks, not just for certain encounters, like just like overall. So like even with all the railroading, they still get embarrassed like imbalances. So like, what's the point? I feel like the pursuit of balance in an MMO is just unattainable. You should just go with fun. Keep it close enough. Doesn't need to be perfect, just good enough. All right, so here is Wire's location, and we have to protect it. So I'm guessing this is an escort mission. Sup, Superstar? We'll love to play Flavor of the Month, despite how much people complain. Back in preceding days, you remember everyone doing Pistolier, Fencer before they capped the defensive stats like dodged at 125? Oh yeah, I agree. I remember even playing Star Wars: The Republic, like, you know, years later after pre-CU, people were still playing whatever was reported to be the best on forums or whatever the, like, you know, server first people were playing for dungeons. So, like, I remember I had players in my guild who were leveling alts for the express, and which this is before they had level boosting and whatever. So they were re-leveling a character for the express purposes of meeting the meta, which I was guild leader and raid leader. I didn't ask them to do that. They just felt obligated to because they would see damage numbers at the end of the raid and see that they're pulling like, you know, 400 to 600 less damage than somebody who happened to be playing Flavor of the Month. So there was an era of raiding where I remember our group comp was just Trooper Vanguard, Jedi Guardian, Sage Seer Healer, Scoundrel Healer, and then 2 Gunslinging Smugglers and 2 Jedi Sentinels, because running any other DPS was demonstrably worse in terms of numbers, or at least that was the perception, even though there were players who were just good at the game, and they were able to put out numbers that were good or better than what other people could do just based on skill gap. It's just there was a smaller skill curve for certain Flavor of the Months. Also, we finished that quest without fighting anything because we're just that good. So yeah, that was probably scaled for tier 2, tier 3, but because of our base engine speed and the scaling of the ship and the short distance, that mission completed very fast. So let's go land and talk to Wire. But yeah, I think a lot of the times Flavor of the Month ends up being just, it's easier to do better. Like, for the entire like original rating experience that I had with Star Wars: The Old Republic, uh, basically it was Imperial Sniper or Gunslinger Smuggler who were the top of the DPS charts, and that was my preferred damage class before it became Flavor of the Month. Just because I thought gun, haha, pistols and Smuggler, yay fun. Um, but then it just ended up being Flavor of the Month, and then I ended up having to teach people how to run. They're like, I can't beat you in the DPS charts because you're at Flavor of the Month. I'm like, I don't know, dude. There's people playing the complete opposite, and they're beating me in some encounters, and that's just because they're good. Like, and there's some encounters that favor certain builds and professions than others. I think a lot of MMO design when it comes to damage is less so the problem of the class, and so far the limitation designers and creativity when it comes to designing an encounter. Like, if your encounter is a box arena with a big sponge of HP bar in the middle, then yeah, whoever has the highest over time damage on a single target's gonna win. So if you have an encounter where it's only somewhat like a bunch of smaller medium strength targets, yeah, whoever has the widest, most sustained area effects gonna do the most damage. You need varied encounters where certain professions shine. The problem with Star Wars: The Old Republic is in the time that I was actively raiding, most encounters came to like defeating 1 to 4 very health heavy targets. So just having a very high sustained single target outweighed having anyone specialized in anything else. Because like Jedi Sentinels and Marauders weren't very good at AoE, but it didn't matter because most encounters were single target. Similarly, the gunslinger builds that were best single target damagers weren't the best at moving and shooting at the same time, but the counters demanded such little movement that it didn't matter that you were a stationary caster. So basically, long story short, get better game designers. I say as a player. Anyways, we're back with Wire. There you are. I knew you were the right person for the job. I'm most pleased, Mum. I was expecting more of a challenge, satisfying nonetheless. Whatever. With the space. Whatever. Well, we had a deal, and I will, of course, come through on it. The pilot you are looking for did indeed come to me a while ago. He was trying to get information on who was out to kill him. Do you have an answer for him? Certainly. You see, this pilot friend of yours had his hands in a lot of pockets, trying to get money wherever he could. For a while, he was even shipping slaves for the Trandoshans. Boo. Slavery's bad. I found out that they knew about his business with the rebels and wanted him retired permanently. Trandoshan slavers, eh? Why were they so upset about that? That I don't know. I know, however, I however know of someone that probably does on Naboo, resides as a slave master for the Blackscale clan. I'll point you to his building. Be warned, though, it's like a fortress and the slaves are not reasonable. It will probably be suicide to go there. That, of course, is not my problem. All right, we gotta go to Corinna, Naboo. I believe. This is actually labeled as a group quest. Yep, Corinna, Naboo. I know what building this is. Is it the only SWG server you play on? Yeah, I only play on Legends right now. You've been playing on Sentinels of the Republic and Restoration off and on. I've actually been hearing about Sentinels of the Republic a little bit more recently. There's like 1 billion emulators. Like, there's a comically large amount of emulators that are public. Can't even imagine how many more that are private or like, semi-public, like invitation only or whatever. But Sentinels Republic, I've seen a little bit about. I think I've seen someone else stream it recently. And then there's some other ones that I've been hearing about creep out. Like I saw Johnny Amp streaming again, and he was streaming on a server it was like an acronym that started with an A. I have no idea what the full name was. I feel like cementation's killing the game as the population is so splintered now. My answer to that is something I've thought about, is that people are going to play the game they want to play. So, like, if SWG Legends was the only emulator available, there's people who just don't want to play the NGE. So, it wouldn't be reliable for them to be here anyways. Similarly, if there was only one pre-CU, like, Finalizer, where it's, like, the original pre-CU, you could argue that pre-CU players would go there anyways, but there's a lot of people who just don't want the vanilla pre-CU experience. They want something a little more, they want more custom content added, and maybe the development team is not facilitating that, or they have different goals, etc. So at the end of the day, you can't really, like, yeah, you can encourage people to play on certain servers, but you're not going to force them to play on any server. I would agree though that it does have an effect though. I can't ignore that. These guys are actually pretty high level, right? Yeah, they're all 81. I'm surprised that AoE didn't hit anything. We have to go down here. Okay, I think the look for clues is mess with this terminal. Yeah. Here's our Who are you? Never mind that. What are you doing with the Trandoshans? And then we get attacked by Risk. He's not going to survive into those... Yeah. Alright. You have done everyone a great service by ridding the galaxy of that monster. Now please help me escape. Alright, let's go. Vum is very anti-slavery. She's not going to ask any questions. But me too of each type to give some variety and not segment to it. No, yeah, I'd agree. Like, it definitely has an effect. It'd be dishonest of me to, you know, imply otherwise. Where did you go, Aurora? He kind of got stuck on the... There he is. I will be fine from here. I owe you my life phone. What can I do to even slightly repay my debt to you? I'm looking for a friend of mine, missing pilot, well, smuggler. You'll have to be a bit more specific. Why did you come here to find him? Is he a Wookiee? No, but I have information that these slavers wanted him dead. I think I know what you're talking about. I overheard the slave master talking about a smuggler interfering in their business. They said he was smuggling slaves for some of the other Trandoshan clans, the ones that struck a deal with the Empire. He was smuggling slaves, are you sure? If you are talking about the same pilot, yes. And the Empire is assisting the slavers capture Wookiees, yes. But not this particular clan, though, but many of the others. That's why they were so upset and wanted him dead, I think. All right, well, thank you. You sure you won't? You will be all right from here? I'm the one that's grateful for him. That's a big Wookiee hug. I will be fine. I know where to go for help for him. Yeah, like, I mean, it'd be nice if we had, like... I mean, there's been a lot of people over the time who suggested limit the amount of servers available, consolidate development teams, but people are going to do what they want to do. Like, I've had suggestions for content, like, that I haven't brought up, that I've thought of, and I've talked to, like, some staff members, like, you know, on the side about it, but I'm not, like, hard committing it because what I want to see in Galaxies and get added might not necessarily be their goal, and since they're hobbies and they have their own ideas and directions, development, you know, they're going to clash as creators with their servers. And there's clearly enough people who want to craft Star Wars Galaxies to be an experience that they specifically want. So without a unifying goal like money, you can't get them all on the same team. Like, in an ideal world, yeah, I'd say we have, like, a few we have, like, someone cover CU, pre-CU, NGE, maybe 2 flavors of each, and then weird fusions like Infinity and Restoration and whatever. But ultimately, people are just free to do whatever they do, and that's okay. You miss playing the CU era Jedi. The abilities were more fun. The NGE ones was faster paced than the pre-CU abilities. Yeah, see, I've never played CU, so I can't weigh in. I'll trust you on that one, though. Cat's out of the bag. Yeah, I mean, I prefer how it is now than it used to be. Because previously, before the source code leak for SWG, it was just like Project SWG, if anyone remembers that one, slowly rebuilding the game. And then Basilisk, and then a few other pre-CU emus that weren't doing too much. But then since the source came out, not only do you have pre-CU emulators, you got CU emulators now, you got like pre-CU and CU emulators with NGE content, you got a bunch of NGE options, everyone with their own like intentions and stuff, people creating their own unique like leveling and profession systems. So I'd rather see people really engaging and doing all that fun stuff rather than there just being, you know, maybe 1 or 2 options that no one really engages with or just passingly does. All right, here's Vega. Good, you are back. What have you found? No pilot, I'm afraid, but I found out about his side business. Interesting. What else did he have his fingers in? It seems he was smuggling slaves for the Trandoshans. You are sure about this? I can't believe we ever got involved with this person. Very well, I will use this new information to track down more leads. In addition, it seems that many of these slavers are secretly allied to the Empire. Yes, we have suspected this for a while now, and information about it is good, though. It would be nice to have a propaganda tool. We get some solid evidence. Check back with me later. Hopefully, I'll have come across some new leads. See you soon. I think we have cornered the backstabber. Really? What did you find? A shipment of weapons that he ran for the Empire were found with some smugglers. One of them knew that he was taking refuge with an old friend of his. So, what's the problem? We need to convince him to give Cal over to us. This smuggler being Cal. This friend, Tierce Martano, may be a gentleman, but he makes a terrible enemy. We need to use the path of diplomacy. All right, what do I do? Go talk to him. Convince him to help us. I will give you the coordinates to his vacation estate on Rory. Oh, after this, I won't be working on this anymore. I have been reassigned. I'm sure that you will have other help in the future. Reassigned? Why? They have their reasons. Now go. The Alliance is counting on you. So I like how this questline implicates both the Rebel Alliance for knowingly smuggling spice, but then also implicates the Empire for knowingly assisting slavers. Because they're trying to say, like, you know, oh, well, both kind of were doing stinkies on this one, but personally, I think slavery is worse than spice, but then you could also make the argument that the harvesting the spice is complicit in slavery if you take, you know, the story of Solo and the enslavement in the Kessel mines, you know, that face. So, both suck. At least they were trying to paint a somewhat gray story rather than the standard rebels are only good and Imperials are always bad. Now they both suck. So I'm like, well, that's a little bit more believable, I suppose. Have I played Edge of the Empire or Saga Edition tabletop Star Wars games? No. I have not. Oh, wait. Actually, yes, I have. Because that's one of those is the Fantasy Flight one, right? Edge of the Empire, I believe. I haven't played Saga, because that's the old Wizard of the Coast one, right? And then Age of the Empire is the Fantasy Flight system. I DM'd the Fantasy Flight system for friends for a little while, but we dropped it. Because while a pre-existing knowledge of the Star Wars universe isn't necessary to enjoy that game, it helps. One thing that is really powerful about Western fantasy is it's so synonymous and easily recognizable when you come into fictional characters in that setting that people can more readily relate to it and understand situations. So the problem that I ran into is when you're doing like dungeon mastering Dungeons and Dragons and a dragon shows up, if the players are like level 3, they know we should probably not mess with that dragon. It will likely kill us. Unfortunately, my players didn't have the same foreground of Star Wars when they were quartered by 2 dark troopers carrying heavy weapons, which, you know, they could recognize that these were dangerous, but they just assumed, oh, these are just another trooper. Well, sorry, they instantly vaporized the Wookiee that was one-shotting everything because they didn't understand exactly how dangerous dark troopers were. Part of that's on me as the game master. I should have done a better in-lore explanation of how dangerous these were. But I felt like I set up a good number of flags for them, but apparently not enough. So it's a little bit harder to adapt. I think that's just a problem with science fiction fantasies in general, or science fantasy settings, is a lot of threats are less readily recognizable as how dangerous they actually are. So that was the main reason why my players weren't that into it. That I was also doing like a rebel like intrigue plot campaign, and I think they wanted more of a high fantasy chosen one storyline. You would love a new game to come out as the spiritual successor of SWG. No game comes close so many ways for you. Nothing even comes close to in crafting. So you need to. I agree. The main reason I keep coming back to Star Wars Galaxies because of the sandbox elements, like the crafting system. I've been talking about Star Wars: The Old Republic a lot lately because I've been going back and playing that with a friend, and that was one of the reasons why why I think Star Wars: The Republic got a negative reputation, was because Star Wars Galaxies not only existing, but then dying for it to facilitate lesser competition between the two. And Star Wars: The Old Republic not boasting the same features. Crew skills, which is their crafting system, aren't nearly robust as Star Wars Galaxies crafting. At launch, the only available space content was a rail shooter a la, Star Fox 64. So also not great when you had the full space sim aspect of Star Wars Galaxies in the game via the Jump to Lightspeed expansion. And there's a lot of host of other reasons why Star Wars: The Republic maybe didn't hit home with fans, but I think that's one of them. And unfortunately, a lot of MMOs coming out today don't really focus on sandbox elements. They focus more on the tried and true theme park construction that World of Warcraft helped popularize and standardize. But yeah, Star Wars. There's nothing. I keep playing Star Wars Galaxies because there's nothing quite like it. Sucks there might be Star Citizen if they add player built bases. Yeah, but Star Citizen's still gonna be in beta when I'm 80 years old and dying. So whatever, man. Saga's D20 based. Yeah, okay. So I remember. I like the. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. They didn't like the light and dark dice in the Fantasy Flight system because one of my players was like, the thing that I like about the D20 system is you succeed or you fail. You don't succeed and kind of fail, or you don't fail and kind of succeed. So a really good example is they were hacking into a starport terminal, and they succeeded on the check, but then they rolled negative on the fate die that got rolled with it because of some modifiers. So even though they succeeded hacking it, they set off the alarm, and they felt a little cheated by stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I get where they're coming from. They kind of just like things to be, you just succeed or you don't. There doesn't always need to be a good or a bad. I feel like the Fantasy Flight system's better if your table group wants to lead into those social roleplay aspects and really get in the characters and role playing. But for my table, who really more leans on exploration and combat, the Fantasy Flight system felt more stifling to them. Level appropriate encounters risk killing them off easily. No, I agree. I was new to DMing that system. I never even played it before, so that was a learning curve issue on my part. You're a little bit better about Sorter. You do kind of like want to play it almost as a solo game since it's all voice acted. As a solo game, it works. The only problem is you need to subscribe. Like the free to play system's just it's too intrusive for me to recommend playing Star Wars: The Old Republic as even a preferred player, which is a player who's either subscribed previously or bought something in the microtransaction system, the cartel market. But like free to play players have the most hilarious restrictions. So like they can't reach the same level cap. They don't get access to most expansion content. They're limited on species options when creating a character. All the way down to the minutia of they earn less XP. And hilariously, they learn speeder piloting, which is, being able to mount up 10 levels later than a subscriber does. Like they're literally just punched in the gut repeatedly, and it's just obnoxious. I have never played as a preferred or free-to-play player just because it's so ridiculous how they set that up. Which is hilarious because almost every reviewer analysis I've seen of the game on YouTube so far is always from the stance of a free-to-play player. And talking about, I was able to do most of XYZ up until level 20, and then they really kicked me in the balls. And the best description I had is a video I watched on YouTube. The player describes that, yeah, free-to-play is a great way to demo the game up to level 20. But if you want to play past level 20, you got to invest something in it. Or it's just going to be miserable. Yeah, so what sucks about this quest, so we're at the Merterno State, and it's locked due to the Black Sun being here and putting in lockdown because they're looking for the smuggler. And you have to kill 20 of them, but there's only 14 that spawn in the estate, and one's always stuck in the building, it feels like. I can't see him. I don't even think I could drop an AoE and aggro him. If I had... Oh, wait, you know what? Nope. I won't do it. Anyway, so we have to wait for Black Sun to respawn now. Very fun. Why set the kill counter at 20 when you literally only put 14 here? If you're not going to have them like short respawn timers, put more here. Or put them on shorter respawn timers. Again, like... I recommend Star Wars: The Old Republic to anyone who wants to play KOTOR 3. I don't really recommend it as a multiplayer game. I'm playing with Griffin Striker right now. We're streaming that slowly. And we've played with it before, but they've put so much effort into reverse engineering out all of the things that you would do with a friend or other players that, yeah, the multiplayer aspect of the MMO seems to be a side accessory, like a novelty. It's like, yeah, you can go do this dungeon with 4 players, but then you have to rely on them, like, queuing up for Group Finder, getting into the dungeon, and then actively participating and not quitting out, disconnecting, or just being, obtrusive or trolling. Or you can just queue up by yourself and we'll give you AI to run the dungeon. Final Fantasy XIV has AIs that run dungeons, but the purpose of that is to teach you the mechanics on doing the dungeon so that when you queue up to play with other players, then you kind of already have a grasp on the mechanics. In the Republic, it's more of a way to circumvent playing with other players. Granted, you don't get the same rewards doing it by yourself versus doing it with other players, but other than some credits and XP, I don't really think the activity finder is that big a deal. I haven't gotten to level cap, so there might be like some incentive to do the activity finder. We'll see. Like in 14, there's incentive to do it because you can get a lot of XP for leveling jobs and stuff. But in the Republic, leveling's not that big of a hurdle. And since it's not like the job system where switching gear gets you one job or the like one class or the other easily, and you just have one shared level is no big deal in grinding levels. Also, thank you for following Superstar. Are people still toxic if you want to listen to RPing dungeons? You would want to that, but people made you mad last time. So in Final Fantasy XIV, I've been listening to the story in the dungeons because a lot of the dungeons I've been doing for the first time, right? And when I get out of the plot, I've never been flamed for it. But similarly, people usually won't wait for you. The only reason they wait for me is in the 4-player dungeons, I'm the tank, so they have to wait for me. Or they just die immediately. But when I've been doing the raids, like Crystal Towers, people don't wait. They just go, especially if they're the tank. In Star Wars The Republic, I am not sure because I haven't played with anybody since returning except Griffin Striker. We've been avoiding other people. I've been watching some videos though on Star Wars: The Republic lately on YouTube to kind of get impressions on that, and it's been split. One content creator said they did one dungeon, the people were very nice and taught them the mechanics, and the other creator said they did one dungeon, people started immediately fighting because they weren't doing optimal damage rotations, called each other shitheads, then rage quitted out and sandbagged the entire dungeon. So. Can you do dungeons as just a duo? Yep. You could do them as a duo. So we've only done the S-list so far, which is the first dungeon on the Republic side, and that was always scaled to be able to do as a duo, but everything's been changed to where you can solo or duo it. The reason being is they changed how companions work. So when the game released, companions were locked to basically one style of combat, so like tanking, damage, or healing. And then they weren't, and they were very dependent on the gear that they had access to at the time. So it was kind of hard to have a useful companion for a lot of the things. But now companions, they basically scale with your level. Their gear is pretty much extraneous, and they can fulfill any role by right-clicking on them and changing the role to tank, healer, or damage. And they're very good at what they do. And then also when you run dungeons now as story mode, they just give you droid NPCs. So like when we were running the S-list story, there was 2 players, each player had a companion, and then we each had combat droids on top of that. So we were a 6-player party instead of a 4-player party. And to give you an idea how effective we were, even though we were getting level synced down to level 10 or 11, and we were level 20, whatever, the final boss died so fast, he could not execute a mechanic. He has a mechanic where he will jump around the arena, summon backup, and then like do a ability to like make himself harder to kill while the backup's alive, but we could kill him so fast he didn't even have a choice to do that. And the healing put out by our companions is so high, I never had to use the rest ability to get my health or force resource back or click any of the extraneous health kits laying around. It very much facilitates you just doing the thing. Anyways, we killed enough Black Sun to get in and talk to Martano. He says, those blasted Black Sun dare to trap me in my own vacation estate. What happened? We already know who he is. We don't need to ask. The Black Sun wants something, and I'm not willing to give it to them. Their siege on my estate just convinces me that I made the right choice. Anyway, thank you for helping me out. I'm being a terrible host. Would you care for some refreshments? Thank you, but no. I'm here on business, actually. Ah, business. Seems that I'm very popular recently. Go on. I'm looking for a pilot named Cal Handro. Ah, you too. I'm sure someone sent you. No, I don't know who. No diplomatic dances for me this time. I'll tell you when you know. Where is he? He's nearby in a safe house that I know of. The stakes of this game have increased dramatically, and I don't like the players much. I think I have to ask all these questions. Or why did he come to you? He's an old Sabak buddy of mine, and he knew that I had a house out here, and I happened to be here when he asked to stay. However, this deal's getting worse for me as it goes. That's almost a Lando quote. He didn't warn me he was going to be so well liked. What do you plan to do with him? I don't know. Actually, I have representatives from both sides of the war coming to me with offers and threats. I don't really want to deal with either one. Can I help? Actually, you can. The situation is too hot for me. I just want him out of my hands. Since you helped me get rid of the Black Sun, I'll let you decide where I send Cal. Great. Where are the contacts? I'll transfer their names and locations to your datapad, have them send me a message with your name, and I'll give them whatever information they want. Thanks, I owe you one. I'm happy to help, but I'll probably call in a favor. I'm sure you will. I don't think you can ever talk to Mortano again. So now we can either choose the Rebel Alliance or the Empire. This is the part where you have to pick a faction and sign up. Obviously, we're Rebels, so we're going to go to normal. All right, so here is Wolf, the Rebel contact, who's literally standing around the corner from an Imperial coordinator. Very smart, with his open badge and uniform. The Rebel Alliance is extremely subtle. They blend right in. Wolf says, you wouldn't happen to know a Cal Handler, would you? Actually, I do. I've come to tell you where he is. Really? This is the best news that I've heard all day. Where is little Cole? Where is the little Cole? Hold on. What? Is that a Star Wars Cole? I mean, Wikipedia, Wiktionary has an entry. Merriam-Webster. K-O-L-E. I can't find like an official dictionary definition. Whatever. If anyone knows and they're watching this on YouTube, please comment it. I'm actually really curious. Charles Mortano will send you the coordinates. Him? He didn't help us before. Can we even trust him? Try sells me one. Give him my name in your message. Excellent. I'll have the pilot sent to a safe house where you will pick him up. Just point me in the right direction. Talk to the head guard when you get there. He will give you a heads up. I'm off. See you when you get back. Okay. Well, there's a player city over there this time, so that's nice. They have a shuttle, right? Hi, YouTube. Everyone look at the camera and smile. Must have been erased from the dictionary archives. Yes, but what Jedi would do such a thing? Sorry, it's been a bit since I watched the prequels. I don't know the exact words. Or, no. It's if it's in the archive. If it isn't in the archives, then it doesn't exist. That's what she's something around that lines. That's like the dumbest shit to say as a librarian, by the way. Oh, if this planet isn't in our catalog, it's not real. Bitch, the galaxy's massive. Even in a setting like Star Wars, I'm sure there are like unidentified planets or planets laying low. Okay, so we're at the Rebel Safe House. I'm going to put a little warning here for anyone doing this as a trader or entertainer that's not combat spec'd. Well, I highly recommend dragging traders and combat and entertainers through this. In here, you're going to get jumped by some NPCs, and if you do not have this quest active, you physically cannot enter this building. So before you go, if you're going to try and get this on a trader or entertainer, have them follow a combat character in. If that's not doable, give them some armor, maybe make them a Beastmaster if they're a trader, spec them for combat if they're an entertainer, and they should be all right. And get them buffed. All right, so we're heading in. Gotta go talk to the head guard. Yeah, Jedi Arrogance. Dude, I forgot Tython as a planet has a terrible storyline for Jedi. It has some bad implications. But here's the head guard. I'm glad to see you, Vum. Wolf said that you would be here soon. What is the situation? We have him confined, but he barricaded the door. It shouldn't be long for us to subdue him. Excellent, that's what I like to hear. Hey, what's that? I think we're being attacked. So the problem isn't that... It's just you get jumped by a lot of NPCs at once during this. So if you're not prepared for it, it is kind of a pain in the butt. And because we're fighting in a building with more than 2 floors, and this is Star Wars Galaxies, it gets a little difficult to have line of sight on some of these guys. Oh yeah, and then they spawn more. Pick a spot. All right. Yeah, Jocasta was something in the movies. What? What did you say? He's gotten away. What happened? My guards are reporting that the attack was a diversion. The pilot is gone. While we were busy, another group smuggled him out. This is a disaster. Calm down. I think I know someone that can tell me where he's going. You do? Who? I'm going to have a chat with an Imperial named Officer McKay. Good luck with that. Why do I know this? I like how when they barricaded this, they actually like put a wall here so you can't walk through here. It's a nice touch. Here's Officer McKay. This is who Imperials will report to at this point. What do you want, rebel dog? That's derogatory. I'll fucking kill you. I want to know what you did with Calhandro. Of course you do, and I won't tell you. You won't. Okay, so if I select the 5,000 credits one, he'll just tell me. If I select the other one, I think I have to go do something else. I'm just going to pay him 5K. Sure, here's 10K. He's taking the last trip out to show a new pilot route to Kashyyyk. Then in exchange for his life, he will tell us everything about the rebellion that he knows, and it will give him a new identity. You can do nothing to stop it. Naboo system. Rory systems is connected to the Naboo system, so we'll just launch from here. Alright, we're waiting for Cal to show up. There he is. 14,000 meters away. It probably would have been faster to the hyper, but whatever. We'll just blitz all the way over there. It's a tier 4 ship. Hi, guys. We're strong enough to where we just tank this. Or miraculously, our ships, that decimator's like, get down, Mr. President, and just flew right in front of me. I think we're done. Yeah? Okay, so that was a tier 4. I don't think the last part it'll be tier 5. We'll find out. Whoops. That's not the home forward button. We have to go back to Rory, so I'm just gonna do this. Got the non-aligned energy imp and rebel recruiters don't like about me. Yeah. And I say it earlier, but this is a quest line that you have to align at least temporarily. It's interesting. There's a few quests that force you to align. This is one of them. Luckily, you can always, opt out whenever you want. The only problem is you can't opt back in whenever you want. When you leave a faction, there's a 48-hour cooldown, real time, before you can opt into the re-opt into it or opt into the opposite one. So I'm Rebel. If I was completely leave the Rebel faction, I'd have to wait 2 days before I get signed to beat Imperial. Just something to think about for the flip-floppers out there. We're back with Wolf. Welcome back. I take it you won. I think we can say we haven't been there yet. Well, I destroyed a ship. Great work. I'm sorry for the unpleasantness of this mission. It's for the good of the Alliance. And in such good work deserves a reward. I have a new weapon. I believe you should have it. So part of this you get reward the special Bola Ops Carbine, Special Ops Bola Carbine. It's not a unique weapon skin. Like Bola Carbines are just a normal munitions thing, so don't get too hyped. But if you want, it can be deconstructed and recrafted. Great, thank you. No, thank you. Come back to me soon, and hopefully I'll have more information. You can finish this. He wants me to go to Dak Rautar and the Derek on Derek Talus. Okay. So now I gotta go to Dak. You watched the newer D&D movie today, finally. Liked it. Yeah, Kaz showed me it. Kaz and I watched it a couple months ago, and I enjoyed it. It was very fun. It was really in the spirit of like a tabletop adventure being adapted to film without being too fan servicey. It struck a nice balance. The casting was really good. The plot was good. I really liked it. And it didn't take itself too seriously, but it was just serious enough. It struck a perfect balance. I was really reluctant to watch it for a long time because I was kind of burned out on like, yeah, whatever movies, you know what I mean? Maybe it's easier to give an example. The last few films I watched before that were like, God, what did I watch before that? I watched a series of kind of like, yeah, whatever. You just kind of watch it for what it is. It's not really that compelling of a film, but patiently waiting for Luthen Raoul section of the Rebel Legacy. No. Here's Dak Ralter. Hey, I hear you're the new one helping us out with Calhandra situation. My name's Dak. I just got transferred into General Rekeen's unit, and I'm supposed to be your contact. Glad to meet you. Just meeting someone like you makes me think we have a chance against the Empire. I'd take them all on by myself if I could. As it stands, I'm just waiting for them to find a pilot for me to gun for, and until then, I'm on loan to intelligence. Yeah, okay, is there something going on? What rank are you? Lieutenant? All right. There sure is. Sounds like this Calhandra business isn't as cleared up as we thought it was. One of our informants on Orn Mantel heard that Handra's deliveries were still being made by someone. We think he may have had a partner. We better do something about that. I knew it. You're exactly the kind of operative we need around here. So here's what we know. Handra has a shield generator that keeps his ships safe from attack while he makes his deliveries. It's in an Imperial base on Talos. We want you to set up a two-pronged attack. One group take the generator, and one group take out his ship. I think I can... give me the information. The Empire has a bunker on Talos. I'll mark the location for you in your datapad. Once you're inside, find the communications array and determine the exact location of Handra's ship. Seems easy enough. There's one more. There's more. Once you locate his ship, you'll have to find the shield generator and disrupt the signal that's being sent to his ship. If you don't locate him first, you won't be able to disrupt the signal. It's got hundreds of fake signals that it sends out. We can't just destroy it or the pilot will be immediately alerted. You'll need to know exactly which signal to disrupt. Then what? After you disrupt the signal, his ship will still be alerted, but not for a few minutes. It will take him some time to calculate a jump into hyperspace. In that short window of maybe 10 minutes, someone will have to destroy that ship. So that's why I need to bring some friends. Yes, you will have to use the communications array and the shield generator in the heart of the Imperial base, then the space team will have to destroy Handra's ship. Think you can handle it? I'm positive. I knew you wouldn't disappoint. When you're done, one of our agents will make contact with you. Good luck, and may the Force be with you. And then you see you get a couple of rewards for this. The main one was that ITB, though. So this is the last section of this quest line, hence the rewards we saw. And this is the part where our group is highly recommended, specifically because of that timer. So basically, we're going to get to this Imperial base, and then we're going to need to find, I believe, a key card of information before we can actually activate the communications array. Once the communications array is active, that's when the 10-minute timer will start that Dak was talking about. I am going to try and do this with only one character. I have never done it before. I usually have it all logged in and already in space and ready, but I want to see if I can go really fast. But I would generally recommend having like a friend to help you with this, or having an alternate character with some piloting skills to help you out with it. I'm going to activate my power-ups. Okay, so we have to get a communications array passkey, and the passkey drops from these Imperials. So one trick that I want to tell you about is that these Imperials are level 84 strongs, and if you have a hard time dealing with them, what you do is this passkey will actually drop from any Imperial NPC, it seems. So if you're having a hard time defeating these, what you can do is you can go to like the Imperial outposts on this planet, defeat Imperials there, so you get the passkey to drop, flag down to go on leave, run down here uncontested, and then interact with the communications array, which it's in this room, right? Or am I a dink? Is it in the other room? Oh, no, it is right here. I looked right at it. Yeah, so then you can interact with this. Once you click this is when you get a timer, not when you get the passkey. But we'll just, we're fully buffed. I have faith. Sorry, I was having a brain fart. I was like, what buffs am I missing? And I'm like, oh, it's because I flagged up to combatant. Yeah, so it's a chance for this passkey to drop. I'm not going to try to pull too many at once. Ooh, that hurts. Oh, that's why. I think this is gonna incap me. Please don't death blow. They death blow. Sick. All right. Well, we're gonna do this the cheese way then. So what happened there was I ended up pulling like 5 of them because of my AoEs. So yeah, not good. Hey guys. Does it believe these guys work? No, they're not proccing anything. I know there's some NPCs somewhere that works. These guys aren't working. Am I crazy? Yeah, the guy didn't say anything. Because I had a friend who did this quest, and he got the pass key killing the rebels outside of this base. So I just assumed Imperials would work, but I guess I'm wrong. They must have to be specifically named. But all right, well, I guess I'm gonna go rebuff, and then I won't pull everything at once. When I saw they were elites, I'm like, oh, you know what? These guys probably death blow. I probably shouldn't have pulled that many. Haven't heard what I'm talking about. Great. Yeah, I heard about it from somebody else. They were doing something else, and they were able to get the item looted off of an NPC that wasn't at that bunker. But clearly, it's not as universal as I think it is. So, whatever. Granted, it was somebody who was playing an Imperial character, I think. So I don't know if that made a difference in the situation. Well, I guess it's good that I died and tested it. I don't want to give bad advice. Oh yeah, there's my badge. If you don't go out the north gate, you don't get the exploration badge for the Imperial outpost. Cracks me up. Okay, we're back. We're buffed. I'm not gonna pull like the entire base at once and die this time, I promise. It was all the legacy leveling. It made me complacent. All right, they mostly use... Actually, we'll do Breath of Heaven for a little safety. So I put 2 more food buffs on my bar. I'll go over quickly what they are. So there's 2 category of food buffs. Category 1 is going to be occupied by Breath of Heaven, which is giving us Constitution and Dodge chance. Very powerful defensive buff. Then we have 2 other options. I have Veronian Burial Wine, which will increase my bleeding absorption and resistance, so I take less damage from bleeds, or my poison absorption and resistance. I believe I saw them doing bleeds, so we're going to take Veronian Burial Wine. But you can see I have 2 food buffs. I have the Veronian Burial Wine up and the Breath of Heaven. Certain foods and drinks occupy different categories, but to my knowledge, you can't have more than 2 crafted variants. And you know what? We'll take the Shadow Paw. We'll take a little bit of spice. Let's get a little huff going. You know what I'm saying? Oh my fucking god, I did it again! I just want to AoE, dude. Can I AoE without pulling all of them? I know this is a group quest, but for anyone, it's like, why are you soloing? And it's just like, listen, I can do it. I just have to be patient. Let's say we use more melee weapon attacks, maybe. Yeah, I know, but I'm impatient. I only have 3 melee-specific attacks, and one of them is also an AoE. And it's deceptively large. Okay, these are the last 2 guys in the room. I can go ham on them. Especially since my AoEs are basically guaranteed to crit NPCs. So they make things go way faster even on a single target. Okay, we know that the array's down here. So let's just go this way. See, if I just kill him fast enough, it's not a problem, right? No one sweat. No one sweat. Believe in me. There we go. Oh, we got it off that guy, too. I actually clear all the ones from here up into the exits, so we'll just do it. All right, everybody. 10 minutes timer. Go, 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 go. Sprint stim, go. He's located in the Corellia system. Okay. Shout out to Sprint stim. We gotta go fast. Did I loot anything good? No. 25 crit. Probably shouldn't load into the... probably shouldn't load into the inbound post flagged up, huh? Sorry, I still got sprint stim up. My Bothan's just blitzing. It only took me 30 seconds to get from there to space. Bringing friends. Logging in alts. Oh, there he is. Okay, well, I beat him. Yeah, we found him. And now we get all these things. So let's go check that out. So we're here on lock. The reason I wanted to come land is because I want to show the reward. So the first reward is the Nuna feedable, which just spawns a Nuna in your house when you place it. The second one is the A1 Deluxe Floater, which is a speeder. It's no trade. You can't trade it or sell it. Yeah, it's the Yellow Submarine. This used to be a loot card item, I believe, from the TCG collection, but now it's been awarded as this quest reward. It is, I think, by stats, one of, if not the slowest speeder in the game. So, you know, keep that in mind. If you want to use it, get that vehicle mod kit, upgrade it. And then lastly, the most important thing, is the Corellia G9 Rigger Freighter ITV. As one of the very first ships of its class to be outfitted with a hyperdrive, this bucket of bolts may be old, but it's definitely useful. A similar ship is said to have been used for unofficial errands by Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars. This item may only be claimed once per character, and if you do grant the ability, you'll get it, and you can summon it, and yep, it's the one from the Clone Wars animated movie / series, and it works just like the ITV, so you can program it. So I could go travel location 1, or manage locations, overwrite, that's a bunch of random stuff. The Nim Stronghold, you can do that, and now this one, if I click that, it'll always take me Nims. So that's why I was like, we got to do this one first as a fresh 90, as if able to. That is, Secrets of the Sirens should definitely be top of your list to do, just to get this item. For crafters, it's a lifesaver. You can have like 1 point go to your shop or crafting house, your harvesters, so you don't have to drive back and forth all the time. If there's places that you commonly quest or AFK at, you can log those. Keep in mind, you can't log anything on Kashyyyk, and certain areas are restricted, and it always has to be an area outside a non-player city. So keep all those things in mind, because it has the same limitations as a normal ITV. But yeah, so with that, combined with the Snowspeeder, we have 5 locations we can log now. So we could be zipping around. I don't believe any other location storing ITVs are in the game, as in ones that exist as commands like that. There's, of course, the AT&T heads and the Bespin cloud cards, but those have to be placed in order to be usable. So placed in the city limits, placed in a player house more commonly. There is another ITV that was in the base game, which I believe was Boba Fett's ship, Slave 1. I believe it took you home, or you could program to one location on it or something. To my knowledge, that hasn't been re-implemented. Okay, so the quest we're doing is called To the Queen's Aide. It's a clone relic. It's one of the quests that is in the clone relic security quests. It says that it's restricted to rebels. I don't know if that's still true on Legends, but I'm reading this from the Legends wiki. That's what I was double checking. But here's the Queen. She said, I was hoping you would stop by, Vum. You know who I am, Your Highness? Stories about your adventures have been whispered among some of the staff on several occasions. When I heard you were here, I was hoping to get the chance to talk to you. You give me too much credit, Your Highness. You're being too modest, Vum. Could I have a few minutes of your time? I need to help you with something that concerns me gravely. Most likely you're busy, and I understand, but maybe you would like to hear me out. I'm sort of in the middle of the jobs anyway, so sure. Or, of course, Your Highness. Excellent. Have you heard of the planet Kashyyyk, Vum? It's the home planet of the Wookiee species. I employed some of the Wookiees to investigate the disturbing news of slavery on the planet. After their last assignment, I have yet to hear from them, and I'm very worried. What was their last assignment, Your Highness? They were suspecting that the Imperial force stationed on the planet was assisting the Traitorous Enslavers. They informed me that they were heading into an investigative transition camp east of Kachirho, and that's the last I've heard from them. Who were informants, Your Highness? Their names were Ore Kazapir, Drillirium, and Imara. Does that mean that you will help me, Vum? It'll be my honor, Your Highness. I can tell that the stories about you are not exaggerated at all, Vum. Please be careful. Let me know if you need anything to help me be informed. Sup, Momo? Started playing Legends again. What have you been doing? Also, this is part of the interior redesign. The Queen's got a sick bed with a big ass canopy. Like a galaxy map on the top of it. And she's got a picture of Chewie because everyone needs a picture of Chewie in their house or palace. But all right, we gotta go to Kashyyyk. Most changes made to Sword Wars for the better, except the PvP changes. Those suck. Yeah, like as they've further narrowed the scope of what class expression can be via like your build, sure, the professions get more balanced, but at what cost? I'm not saying let professions be totally unbalanced and make one significantly better than the other. And I'm saying if it's close enough, it's good enough. But I'd rather have more options and like they're actually being fun builds to explore for everybody rather than check a box and that's what you're playing. Yeah, I mean, I like that they made PvP more accessible, but at the same time, there's no like content grind to PvP. It's just, hey, you want PvP? So here we found Dur. He says, please help me. What's wrong? We were attacked. There was just too many of them. Attacked by who? You said we? Trandoshan slavers ambushed us. Me and my two friends. Wait a minute. Who are you? My name is Durlin. Why? I've been sent by the Queen to find you. Where's your friends? The Queen, praise her. She never ceases to amaze me. Probably needs to be ceases. The Trandoshans took my two friends with them. I managed to get away, but not until I was severely wounded. I've been out here for days now, trying to regain my strength to get back to the city. I believe they took them to the slave camp near there. All right, follow me. I'll take you back to the city first. Thank you, my friend. We better hurry. I'm not sure how long my friends will last in that place. I think this is one of the ones where if I go too fast, he gets mad, so... Can I... Yeah, you're too far. Well, we gotta walk with him. Here, you know what? Let's go into controls. I don't know, I think it's miscellaneous? No, it's in controls, right? Player runs by default, yeah. I wrote a guide on this, then just neblock. I want to inspire the officer class choice. I never leveled an officer 1 to 90. I've done commando twice, a couple times. I've done medic. Fuck. Ah. Let's take out the carbine. There we go. I like how I got jumped by Imperials, but they can't attack me because I'm not flagged, so they just decided to fight a Bantha, I guess. They're not even attacking Dur, so guess we'll just ignore them. All right, we got Dur here. Player run back on. Thank you again, my friend. Are you heading out to find my friends? Yes, I'm right now. You get some rest. Okay, so we gotta go find the slaver camp, which is this way. Ah, here we go. So we came to the easternmost Trandoshan slaver camp. We gotta talk to Grallo. What the fuck do you guys want? Yeah, group up. Wow, this guy lived. Here's Grallo. Who are you? A friend of Or and Imara. I'm not going to pronounce Oregon. Do you know where they are? I'm afraid you are too late. They were sold to the Empire to be shipped to their prison on Dathomir. Apparently they knew something they weren't supposed to. I fear they will be tortured to death. Not if I can help it. Hang in there. Your friends, I will come for you out of the ashes. We gotta go space? Oh no, we gotta go to the Dathomir Imperial Prison. Try to break into the prisoner barrack area and free the two Wookiees. I think I have to speak to... Okay, so we're here at the Imperial Prison. And we have to escort some Wookiees out. I have to talk to somebody in here. They in one of the buildings? Oh. No, he's standing in front of me. Hi, who are you? The Queen sent me to rescue you. Talk to Amara. I'm not going to go anywhere without her. Amara. Oh my god. Queen sent me. I'm here to get you out. Nonsense. I got it. Let's get a move on. All right, we gotta walk them all the way to the front. So as a rebel, I'm on leave, so none of these NPCs will attack me, which makes this a lot easier. So it's in prison, right? Yeah, it's in here. It's in. We found it. It just they spawn in. There was this. So this is a good time to actually talk about my level experience. Now that I have 90 and we have this hot minute. There was a lot of the legacy quests that I remembered, surprisingly. For again, I've stated it before, but I've done it up through level through Talos on live. Anything after Talos, I didn't remember. Great. One stuck on the gate, and that actually counts as being out of range. Hold on. Stupid ass escort quests. Oh my goodness gracious. I think she's trying to follow the other NPC, or they're trying to follow the other NPC, which is why they're not following me. You gotta be shitting me. They're stuck on the gate. I can't get them off the gate. Okay, that worked for some reason. The most dangerous part of this quest. The escort breaking. I was kind of hoping that the position would update. Anyways, so it was interesting rerunning through all of it. Talos, while I've done Talos before based on the rewards, recognizing some of the rewards, I didn't remember any of it. The Corellia Legacy I remember pretty well, up until we got to the next part of it, where it was the droid factory, and then IG-88's like, you foil my plan, and I'm like, wait, IG-88 was introduced in the Legacy quest before the IG-88 instance, excuse me? And then Rory, and it's interesting to see the changes in quest writing. I feel like the writing for Tatooine was really good. The Naboo, well, it was good comparatively. These are all comparative to Galaxies. Don't compare these to other games. Tatooine writing was pretty good. Naboo writing was okay, but the quest design was ass in terms of the amount of places, all the driving you had to do. And just not compartmentalizing enough. Corellia was better in quest design in a lot of cases, like the Slaver compound where you stacked up quests and went in rather than scattering into the four winds. But the narrative writing was terrible. Talos was they had an outline for the plot, but they never like nailed it in and had you kind of touring more through story ideas rather than full stories. And then after that, it was just kind of like whatever idea they had. It's like the droid factory, that was an idea they had. The Ponda Baba was a good idea. They just didn't do anything with it for the Royal Legacy. The Royal Legacy, where we're helping that dude get revenge, was just bad. Yeah, it was weird. Like the quality of writing went downhill, and the quest design actually got worse by the end rather than better. It's kind of like a bell curve almost. Well, it's more like a roller coaster, with the tail end just being all down. Naboo's so bad. Yeah, I don't think Naboo's that bad. Like, narratively, it's just slow. It just takes a long time. It's definitely the longest arc. Like, even edited it down, the Naboo Legacy was significantly longer than any of the other, like, Legacy arcs. Yeah, I guess. It's not strong writing. That's why it's like, I can't compare Star Wars Galaxies to other games in terms of the quality of writing. Not that, like, OG World of Warcraft. We had this discussion recently. Not that, like, OG World of Warcraft was much better. Not that side quests in Star Wars: The Republic are that much better. As just playing one yesterday, there were some pretty abysmal ones. But, like, damn, man. At least, like, in the Star Wars: The Republic, they took the world into account when they were writing. In Star Wars, it almost feels like they just forgot that it was Star Wars. No, yeah. So after Naboo, you're at level 4 Kashyyyk, specifically the Deadwood. After Tatooine, you actually get a Kashyyyk and quest in Kachirho. The problem is, like, a lot of the quests in Kachirho will require you to have, like, at least tier 2 or tier 3 space piloting. So they'll have a mixture of ground and space, so a lot of players will skip that section. And the Deadwood's more compartmentalized, so you can, like, bang out the quests faster. And then you can go to the Aide hunting grounds after that, which will have a small flight section, but it's not too bad. to get in. Yeah, that's how I would usually do it. I usually do up to Naboo, then I just go to Kashyyyk. A lot of people don't like Kashyyyk because, you know, the restrictions with ITVs and mounts and whatever. So oh, I gotta speak to Amara. Yes, we need to break through the blockade. Okay, so we need to get out of here quickly. We'll head for the Old Alliance hangar and get an escape ship from where. While you get your ship, there's a blockade around the planet that's most likely been informed of our escape. So we need your help again. Hope you brought a flight capable ship, question mark. And then we say, yeah, what's your plan? We need someone to break through the blockade quickly before meet us at these coordinates. Make sure you come prepared for trouble. Okay, these coordinates are in Dathomir space, obviously. So we gotta go help them break the Dathomir blockade, which, smartly, the blockade around Dathomir has been alluded to previously in other quests that we've done. So, specifically the Clone Relics quest, the Great Hunter, that we did earlier. Which that makes sense, because this is another Clone Relics quest, so this might have been written by the same person. So, there's a lot of different ways to get to 90. You don't have to do the path that I did. The path that I did is actually not one that I've ever done before. Alright, so let's see here. So we gotta go to the breaching point of this blockade. I like how my floater and my ITV got put on my spacebar. Okay, so all these ships are showing neutral to us because we are not technically a rebel pilot. We're neutral, but as soon as I shoot them, now they're all mad. But we gotta protect our allies who stole an old ship. An ARC-170. So they got some turrets to guard themselves with, but we're gonna make sure that they don't have any problem getting out of here. Can't let them get overwhelmed by all these TIE fighters now, can we? Yeah, I mean, I'm an ace pilot with a convoy-capable rig, and these are all tier 3s and 4s, most of which don't have shields, so yes, they will be one-shot. Great job. Setting a course for Naboo. See you there. I think we're all done now. Just gonna make sure that there's not another space segment. Okay. Yeah, we go back to Naboo now. Is this character mostly self-made, or did you give yourself a bunch? The credits are self-made. The items aren't necessary. I mean, I crafted a lot of them, but like this character didn't buy this ship. I gave them this ship from another character. The armor they're wearing, I earned and crafted on other characters. Like it has my same with the weapon. So like this is my weapon. I crafted this. This is my crafter name. They're leveling. I explained it in the videos and in previous streams, obviously, but the leveling experience was, hey, here's what you can expect. I did this for myself, but don't expect having that, especially if you're doing it on your own. So, like, don't expect having full 35s at level 22 with Primus capped armor if you're playing by yourself and you're new. Don't expect having the Republic Commando backpack at level 10. Don't expect having a jetpack at level 10. Yeah, so the space parts for leveling are pretty actually close to what you could expect for your leveling journey. They're just all crafted parts. I didn't have any special builds. The what I'm flying now is, yeah, that's like an ace loadout that I had on another character I just transferred over. Yeah, for new players, the recommendations I gave was just build like buy capped armor, which you can buy for like 200k or less a lot of the time. If you go to the novice player events on Legends, the bags that they'll give you will like have armor, like a cheap shield generator, I think, some food buffs and mounts and droids and whatever. Which the novice player events are held twice a year, I believe. So you can't rely on them, but they're nice if you're around when they happen. So here, back with the Queen. I've already heard Vum. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful and my pleasure, Your Highness. I'm just glad I could save them. I wish the galaxy had more true heroes like you, Vum. Then it would surely be a better place. I understand that you have new adventures waiting for you, but I wanted your time to offer a small token of my appreciation. You are much too kind, Your Highness. Nonsense. I'm sure you saw the ship the informants used in escaping Dathomir. They're a bit old, but my personal ship technician has rehauled a few of them and turned them into formidable fighters indeed. I'd love for you to have one. For all that you have done, I would be honored, Your Highness. I will put them to great use. I know you will, Vum. Take care and come back to visit anytime. So we got a deed for an ARC-170. Yeehaw! Unfortunately, this ship type is crippled by its mass. So it only has 125k mass, but it has 2 turret gunner slots. So yeah, you could definitely build something for it, but you'd have to be a little creative, especially if you want to take it into PvP. You do 1 to 90, but bounty hunter, but self-made. All right, I like to see it. Hardcore permadeath. Depending on what you do, that's a non-challenge. There was the first time I died on this character from actual combat was today doing Seekers of the Siren. That's because I got overzealous. I almost died. I almost got incapped to Nim's girlfriend. Almost. People are too bored on this server to be always special forces. Even if you're level 10, they will find you and kill you. All right, we're here on Kashyyyk, and there's stuff to do. When you land, you'll notice there's some Imperials here, and they all think I'm stinky. See? They're all bad. Well, I guess this guy wants to talk. What jobs do you have available? Check the board. You could actually take bounties. Just the Trandoshan. Card cheat. Sabak, I think. Tell me about him. Bounty was put in second party by Tien Walub, which is not uncommon. Tien works at the canteen and makes the party posters all the time. He's listed as a contact. Oh my god, this is the quest? Dorm. Wanted for space piracy. There's a spaceport official on the first floor of the tree. Kachirho Belga. She placed the bounty. I'm gonna get Rance never liked pirates. Wow, I didn't know you could actually get quests from that guy. I always ignore him because I'm always rebel, so I just ignore all the Imperial NPCs. Ignore the corpse of the Rhodian. Okay, does Revere have anything? What do you want, outsider? Are you here for the unhonorable hunt? I am a hunter. You're not a hunter until you have stalked the wilds of Kachirho, survived the terrors of Aide, and met the challenge of the Kashyyyk, the riot. Oh, does he just tell you about everything? Yeah. So the Master Hunter just tells you, about all the places to go. He doesn't give you any quests. You thought I had to get his quests? No, I always ignore that guy. I just walk by him every time. I honestly, a lot of times when I come to Kashyyyk, I don't even go to the Great Tree. We're not going to talk to you yet. We do want to talk to Ikvizes. Or Relac? No, Ikvizes. Please, I need your help. Why are you imprisoned? It's a long story, but I swear to you, my friend, I do not belong in this cage. Please help me prove my innocence. Didn't you get a fair trial? I suppose I did. That isn't the problem. The problem is that I was set up and no one believes it. If you give me a few minutes, I will explain. Yeah, sure. How? No one sees you listen to me. Fine, let me hear your story. God, we're so dismissive of this guy. He is very secure. It's not like he could fly out of the top of the cage with his wings. Being a Geonosian and all. Finally, someone who takes the time to listen. For this, I thank you. First, you should know what I was convicted of. Apparently, I was found in the wilds and the documents on my body proving that I was planned and file experiments and Wookiees. Although it's true that I come here to study the Wookiees, that's not all that my intention was to study them. Or just climb between the bars, yeah. Lay on the ground, just crawl under. Of course not. I mean, he literally just fly away. Whatever. Maybe the Wookiees have some anti-air turrets that I'm not aware of. Of course not. I believe that they belong to some Trandoshan researchers that I'm getting ahead of myself. A while ago, I heard a rumor of a scientific camp a bit east of the city. I traveled out there to see. I could swap research with the scientists. What I came on was disturbing scene indeed. What was it? This wasn't a research camp, but a slave camp. Trandoshan researchers were there, but they were using the Wookiees as lab rats, prodding them with strange instruments and injecting them with substances that made the poor things roar in pain. I knew immediately that it would have been a bad idea to reveal my presence to them. Most likely a wise choice, so what did you do? I decided I couldn't just leave without any proof of what I had seen, so I snuck into the camp, hoping to find something to validate my story. While I was rummaging through documents inside one of their tents, everything went black. They knocked you unconscious. That was my belief, yes. When I woke up, I was in chains, being led by a Wookiee hunting patrol in the town. Later, I found out that they had come upon my unconscious body and found documents on me describing a vile plan that would involve the deaths of many Wookiees. How come Wookiees didn't believe your story? The Wookiees are a superstitious and suspicious race. I'm a rare breed around these parts, and ever since I came here, I've been viewed upon with mistrust and skepticism. At my trial, there were all of a sudden a whole slew of witnesses that had seen me do all sorts of suspicious things around the city. What kinds of things? Only what any scientist would do to learn about a new race. I read everything I could find about the Wookiee history and culture, and I viewed a few of them that would let me, usually ones that themselves, for one reason or another, were outsiders to Wookiee society. The final nail in my coffin was the fact that I bribed a guard to be allowed to examine one of their hunters that had been killed in the wilds. Why would you want to do that? To learn about the physiology. Is this not already documented? Yeah, crawl in his cage. Wookiees are a proud race and wouldn't let me, an outsider, examine them closely. While they were alive, it cost me a small fortune to bribe the guard at the burial grounds. I know what I did was wrong, but I was thirsty for knowledge and frustrated by my lack of progress. Sounds like you got what you deserve. I'm out of here. Or, I see quite the misfortune. What would you have me do? Maybe you could try to find their camp and gather some for... Wow, that does get you in there, huh? Well, I guess I have to get 2 people out of jail now. Oh, not a corpse of horrors. Maybe you can try and find their camp and gather some proof that the Trandoshans are the ones that are behind the evil plans. Not I. If nothing else, to save the Wookiees, I doubt the Trandoshans have any intent to stop what they were planning when I came upon them. Agreed. What do they find the camp? Unless they move their camp, head east of here until you reach a Wookiee village. Go north across the river, you'll come across a new camp. But continue past the first one, you should find the one where the researchers were. I hope you find them, my friend, for both mine and the Wookiee's sake. Dr. Farnsworth, hello, I see you. I've never seen you, but Kashyyyk, welcome. Thank you. And you are? Excuse me, I forgot my manners for a moment. I am Dr. Farnsworth. I am at Kashyyyk studying the local environment centered around Kachirho. A fascinating study. There are so many different types of wildlife, I could barely keep track of it, at least until my survey devices stopped sending me their signals. Wow, what are your devices? I suspect that you were experiencing atmospheric interference. Okay, dude, well, sure. I would really like to get the data from all the survey devices. Their memory banks are getting full at this point. Unfortunately, it is far too dangerous for me to go out and get all the data manually. Maybe I could get it for you. Would you really do that? I'd be really very grateful if you would. There are 5 different devices set up throughout the area. All you need to do is use these devices and the data will be automatically downloaded. I see that you are using a travel journal. That is very wise. The devs patting themselves on their back for their own quest implementation. That is, I can put the locations of the devices in your travel journal. Okay, that sounds good. I will get your data for you. Okay, so these survey devices are, as you can see, this is kind of your introduction to the Kachirho area. By the way, this whole area here, we refer to as Kachirho. It is the proper part of Kashyyyk that you land in the starport. When I say Kachirho, I don't necessarily mean the Great Tree here. I mean this whole area proper. So let's see. The Wookiee Trading Co. employees, they are junk vendors. So if you ever have stuff to sell, come to these individuals. And you can do that here. Here's Tien Walub. I think he was supposed to be up in the tree. Welcome to the cantina. How can I help you? Uh-huh. I'm here about Kashyyyk. Stern sent me. Stern sent you then, did he? I need to hear about Kashyyyk the Trandoshan. The Trandoshan. He cheated a few of our customers and is hurting business. One of these customers is a friend of the owner, so we have taken it upon ourselves to solve the problem. Solve the problem? A final solution. Wow. You're just killing him because he okay, whatever. So where can I find him? I know this canteen is beautiful. Where's the bar? People tell me that he's flown out for Tatooine. I contact the Tatooine station in case he's inbound to Mos Eisley as expected soon. Sounds like I'm off to Tatooine. Good luck, Bum. Here's Kamayar, who doesn't want to talk to us. I think this is a dead body. Yeah, it's a dead body. Can't talk to a dead body. yet. Let's talk to Gersan. No, he doesn't want to. Miriam is not of interest to us at this time. Okay, let's go up in the tree. Oh yeah, Chewbacca. Yeah, he's here. I think he just says he just tells me to talk to people to find quests and stuff to do. Chewbacca's like, "Hey, welcome. Go talk to everyone else." All right, let's just go. So we can just slam through this tree and get a lot of quests. So let's just do that. Kachirho is the main area that you want to quest if you're like level 20 to level 30. So basically, we talked about earlier, if you skip down a legacy either at the end of Tatooine or maybe more appropriately at the end of Naboo. But at the end of Naboo, I was level 44. That'd be a little bit over level for this area. Here's Kashyyyk. Not important yet. Actually, no. I don't know why. I thought they talked to them later. Off-world, I do not wish to inconvenience, but I am in desperate need of my son. Kook. Kook? Takook. I'm going to go Takook. That sounds better. Is missing. I beg you to please help me find. Okay, calm down. Where'd you see your son? I saw him 2 days ago heading into the forest with his friend Lobaror, who hasn't returned either. He said that they were going to do a little hunting and would be back before nightfall. I'm afraid that he and Lobaror might have been attacked by something they couldn't handle. I have been searching the woods, but so far I've not found any signs. I see. Is there any reason your son might have run away? No, of course not. My son would never do something like that. He is out there somewhere, probably injured and unable to return home. Please, I am begging you, help me find Takook. You can count on me. I will do my best to find your missing son. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me. My son is the only family I have left since the slavers took his mother, and that sickness swept through with the rest of my kin. Some of these talk later, guys. You think they might also be level blocked? It's come late 30s, 40s. You want to get much open to you? That's a possibility. Fortunately, I don't know. Here is Belga, which is the other bounty we have to talk to. I'm here to talk about a pirate. You must have been you must be one of Stern's lackeys. Hey, I'm not a lackey. I'm a for-profit. I'm a for-hire mercenary. It's different. Yes, there's a pirate up taking more of his than fair share. Fair share. We don't have a lot of support from the Empire on this one, and the Dosians only care about their shipping lanes. Piracy is expected to be dealt with by the individuals traveling these space lanes. Normally, they don't cause too much trouble, but this one is becoming a problem. Not content with taking cargo, he has destroyed a number of transports for the last few weeks. It's just always something. This is a much more reasonable bounty. Cheating people in card games is kind of like low tier. I am tiny. So you want him brought in? Yeah, I am short as possible. In the image designer, I slid the bar all the way to low. Brought in, and where would I put him? No, just destroyed will survive. Then destroyed it will be. Where can I find this? He operates in Kashyyyk space, but does not reside here. If you take him down, his lackeys will then eventually find you, and he will come looking for you. Do you have a lead? All right, so this is a space mission. We'll go do that. But let's go. Cantina owner. Doesn't have anything to say at the moment. The low run speed. This camera can speed your OGs. What are you talking about, low run speed? Listen, my animation just interpolates faster because I'm shorter. So if anything, I look like I'm running even faster than a tall player is. Bah, me, the best mining pilot in the galaxy, stuck here on the lost planet of the Furballs by the Imperial Order. This is no place for Flash Harrison. Mighty pilot, who are you anyway? Who, me? You really think you can give a hand to Flash Harrison, greatest pilot in the galaxy? I suppose between you and me, I am working for the Corellian Engineering Corporation on a mining project in Kashyyyk, but the Imperials suspect I'm a rebel sympathizer. That's too bad. Tell me about it. They took my ship, and I'm stuck here with these filthy, dangerous Wookiees. I'm losing empathy. Fuck, but I can't get there until... Can you get a message out to our base operations, Imperial and Talos? Sure. Okay, so I actually just have to go to Talos for this one. He may not be the best pilot in the galaxy like me, but you'll do. Good luck, pilot. All right, hold on. All right, so here's Colonel. So what will be, bub? Are you here looking for adventure, or are you just going to walk around and spell the pretty flowers? If it is the prior, then maybe you and I should talk. If it is later, then maybe you would do better on other worlds. Start talking. Kashyyyk has a problem, and that problem is that the natives don't seem to understand their defined role. All these guys are really hard to empathize with. That is why I'm here. I am putting together a task force to wipe out the resistance. If you're interested, I will swear. Defined by who? The Empire, of course. Okay. But you're supposed to squash out the resistance. I don't know. You don't look like an Imperial officer. I'm a mercenary, bub. I work for credits, not for ideals. I'm having a hard time. What is the offer? If you're interested in working for me, you're going to head out and liquidate miners. Oh, Wookiees resistance. You eliminate the problem that I... Sure. I'll be for hire. By the powers invested in me, blah, 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 you are now authorized to kill members of the Wookiees resistance. For every 15 of those bums you kill, come back to me and I'll issue you a bounty. Where can I find the Wookiees? If you knew that, we'd be already dead. Okay, they're just right outside. Here's Mata Johnson. She's on the 3rd level, by the way. We didn't find anything on the 2nd level. Could you help me? I'm trying to find my brother, but I can't really manage them. Get killed. Behind your brother. He's disappeared. His name is Brody Johnson. I haven't heard from him in months. Brody came here about a year ago. Something about trying to domesticate local creatures to sell as pets on other planets. It was another one of his get-rich-quick schemes, but then he just disappeared. Okay, any idea I should look? Not really, but you should talk to Werlak. Werlak is a Wookiee living here in Kachirho. He's a retired animal trainer. I've spoke with him a few times, and I know that Brody consulted with him before he disappeared. Try talking to Werlak. Wait, did we talk to Roro? We didn't talk. If you're not busy and need someone to run a package out to Sarah Jossie on the outskirts, just a package? Yeah, she doesn't get into town very often. Gets her food delivered to her by the usual courier. My usual courier isn't around. Can you do for me? Sarah will pay you for the delivery run. Sounds easy enough. If you travel east out of town, you'll find a path to your left that leads down to the river. It should usually be found around there. Okay. Here's Relac. So who are you? Brody Johnson. Oh, Mata sent you. Did she? How about? I don't know. She really send you modded. Why is it? Why do they test me? Like, is this the first option? That sounds right. Very well. What would you like to know? Do you know where Brody is? Brody came to me about a year ago, and he had the idea of some sort involved training native creatures here in Kashyyyk so he could sell them off to plant as plants. Crazy if you ask me. I told him I wasn't interested in helping him. I'm retired and too old to be chasing down wild animals, but Brody was persistent. I told him that if he got Luke's permission, I'd offer what I could. Luke was the one of the elders in Kachirho at the time. I sent Brody to speak with him. Never heard from Brody again, and I figured Luke didn't give me permission. Brody was after. Luke has since given up his position as an elder here. Keeps mostly to himself these days, but if you want to find Brody, I suggest talking to him. I'll go speak with Luke. Where can I find him? He should be somewhere in the city. Never wanders far off. Seems to bring him in a peace some sort. He likes looking out across the forest. Okay. We're going to go do the space quest first, because we're probably going to end up walking into another space quest at some point. So let's just go get rid of this. Let's just complete this one. God, what are other galaxies things that I've heard before that sound like myths? Oh, terrain negotiation over 50 increases your crawl speed. That sounded like bullshit, and then I tested it and it was true. Like, when I was doing research for the How to Traverse the Galaxy video, and I was talking about walking, like, point A, point B, and terrain negotiation as a stat, when I read that on the wiki, I'm like, that sounds like bullshit. And then I tested it, and it was right. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, so it's funny, too. You can get your... So, Commando and Spies have higher terrain negotiation than any other profession in the game, with a base terrain negotiation of 70. So, with the glucose metabolite inhaler, you can boost it to 110, and then if you wear like the RSF backpack and the monk sandals, and I think one of the jackets gives you terrain negotiation, you can get terrain negotiation like over 120. Your crawl speed is like faster than someone's like toggled walk speed. It's really funny. Your animation interpolates so fast. It's really funny. I also thought it was weird that Commandos and Spies have the longest terrain negotiation. I guessed it was going to be Jedi, but no. Spies and Commandos beat them. Jedi's second highest. Hey, look, another ARC-170. Yeah, that's Dorn. That's our bounty target, by the way. Like, it's just funny, because when I start to hear about certain game mechanics, like that terrain negotiation thing, I'm like, that sounds not real. But then when someone tells me like, oh yeah, I solo like Tusken Army, I'm like, no, that makes sense. I just like how this game is in a state where people saying, oh, I solo X instance is way more believable than like some niche mechanic that doesn't matter to me. That's the state of this game. All right, so here's Stern. We are here to collect our bounty on Dorn. I have a bounty to collect. Dorn of Space Dust. I I received confirmation from Belga before you arrived. Here's your bounty. All right, let's go to Tatooine and do what one was that one? Kashyyyk. Let's go to Isley. Is it waiting to update? My quest is just blank. What do I do? I guess I gotta look this one up. Oh. That took a while. Something overheard. Shortly after your battle with the Valerians, you overheard a talk of a gambler that was cheated in the cantina. Maybe this is the work of Kashyyyk. Okay. So this one has a little bit more investigation than just fly up and blast. I can get down with that. Cheated gambler. Yes, what do you want? I need information. Well, at least I still have that. He looks so dejected. I hear you have some gambling trouble. What was your first clue? I overheard your name. Stories travel quick around here. Hey, everybody, come look at the fool. What is it you want anyways? This guy's an Aqualish, but he's not talking like one. All the other Aqualish we've so far talked in third. Whatever. Have you seen a Trandoshan named Kashyyyk? Seen him. Seen him, I have. He is the one that stole from me. Are you a friend of his? Are you another one who's come to cheat me? Actually, I think we can help each other. Yeah, what can you do? You're not the first one who has been cheated. I can believe that. Just tell me which way you went, and I'll take care of the rest. What about my money? Maybe you get it back? Probably won't. Whatever, revenge. I suppose that was enough for now. He went north into the hills. He couldn't have gotten far. Did they give me a waypoint? No. Oh, is he? He is in the cave, isn't he? Yeah, he's in this cave. I'm just gonna try and guess where he is. I have the waypoint to him. I could use that, but I think he's down this way. So yeah, I got like a... Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, he just ambushed me. Okay. Never mind. I guess going left was correct? I think I pathed over some trigger. Alright, we're back with Stern to collect a bounty. Yes, I have to collect a bounty. Well, which is it yet? I'm here to collect a Kashyyyk bounty. Oh, so the lizard is dead. Is he good? Good. 12,000 credits was as was agreed. Weird Healing sits here to like give you 2 quests. Alright, so before we start running around, let's go to Talus to progress this one. Derek Cantina. Okay, here's Thom. Yes, looking very busy. I come bearing a message from Flash Harrison on Kashyyyk. That windbag, or I mean, that valuable asset to our company. Flash can be a little overbearing. What's the message? He's stuck on Kashyyyk, and I don't think he likes Wookiees. The Wookiee phobia is his problem. Losing a mining pilot is mine. How am I going to come up with a quick replacement for that braggart? You there. You look like you could hold your own out there. Can you fly a ship? Sure, I can. I knew I could count on you, or whatever you said your name was. Get your ship up in Corellia space. There have been reports of rival mining vessels homing in on our business. It would be a shame if something happened to them. Wow, that's aggressive competition, but okay. So like I said, the Kachirho has a little bit more, they kind of cycle into space missions a little bit more than some other questing experiences. Specifically, once you get to Mustafar, man, is there any mission on Mustafar that tells you to go to space? I don't think so. I think it's because Mustafar doesn't have a space sector. They're like, we can't really force people to go up into space when we didn't even bother adding a new space sector. Yeah, so this is going to be a trend with the Kashyyyk quests. You're going to be, until we get into the hunting trails, you're going to be seeing me basically running all over the galaxy / the Kashyyyk planet. That's just kind of how they are. In the Kachirho area, and then some of the other ones will have us dipping in and out of other areas of Kashyyyk, but for the most part, they stay confined to their area. So, like, if you get quests in the Deadwood, they're mostly in the Dead Forest. Same with Ryat. So Ryat will have you dip out every once in a while. Ede will have you dip out once in a while, but I was wondering if the Musti's thing was intentional or cutting corners or what. Honestly, no idea. I could speculate endlessly on why Mustafar didn't have a space sector. I think the easy answer is they wanted to push out more Star Wars themed content. So, Trials of Obi-Wan, HK-47, reference to recently released and very popular Knights of the Old Republic game. And developing content for space wasn't high on the list. They also probably had numbers regarding player engagement for space content versus ground content. And I don't know what the ratio would be, but I wouldn't be shocked if there were significantly more ground pounders than there were spacers throughout basically the entirety existence of the game. So they might have just saw space content as sunk cost at that point in development. Like, they didn't think it'd attract any more players than it already was, basically. That's my theory. Are we done? That it? Yep. All right. This might take me to the Corellia spaceport, but whatever. Space is slightly less popular now compared to Live. Well, I think that's just because the player base is lower. Proportionally... do I want to make that argument? Probably don't. I think space is less popular now than it was on Live. Not necessarily because of... Not only because the player base has shrunk, but because since Star Wars Galaxies released, let alone since it closed, there have been more space simulation games to come out that have done what it's set out to do, and more so. Like, a lot of the spacers I know in this game also play, like, DCS World, a flight sim game, Microsoft Flight Sim, another flight sim game, Elite Dangerous, a space flight game, Space Citizen, another space sim flight game. There's been a lot of other games that have kind of done what Galaxies had and better. The only real advantage that I think Star Wars Galaxies as a flight simulator has over some of these other games, with the exception of EVE Online, is that it offers a crafting experience that ties in the space game that a lot of other space games don't quite that aren't quite as robust. So I think that's why there's people who still engage with space in Star Wars Galaxies, is because of that crafting intertwined system and enjoying the flight sim and shipbuilding mechanics as they are. But I'm not sure how many spacers would argue that it's the ultimate flight sim game to play in the current game market. I think it's a combination of, there's smaller player base, but also other games have come out that kind of fill that niche for people. Back with Thom. You're back from your patrol, or old friend. Did you give our competition the old white glove treatment? That's one way of putting it. Good job, old sport. You and I are going to get along just fine. Here, I have a present for you. Is it Life Day already? No, that just ended. Good one. No, your reward is for taking care of those thugs. This is a mining laser that we salvaged. That was handed in by one of our last mining pilots when we retired without being blown completely to smithereens by pirates. I'm also giving you a cargo hold. You need it to load onto your ship before you can mine asteroids, such as the life of a space miner. Don't get me wrong, pilot. It's dangerous out there, but you are better than them. You won't fall victim to any space slugs, pirates, or any of the 100 other dangers mining pirates face every day. That said, ready for another? This guy's great at lip service. No, you're fine sidetracking me. That's part of the live stream experience, that people are welcome to sidetrack me. Sure, what do you have in mind? Extract? No, I'm not mining. You can't make me mine. How about no? That's where we stop with that. But yeah, so if you're leveling space and you want to mine stuff, this is a quest where you can basically get a free space laser. Space lasers aren't that expensive to buy crafted. Neither are cargo holds. Like, I think I bought a capped cargo hold for one of my ships for like less than 20,000 credits or something. Yeah, they're not expensive, but if for whatever reason you really want to cut costs, do this quest, you get a mine laser. I've had spacers recommend this quest before to players specifically for this reason, for people who just want to get into space mining. I don't. So, we're done with that. We're just done there. We're done. Let me go talk to Flash. I thought he had more to give. Talk to you goes hard. Not gonna lie, sure does. You can't make me. So it's... Listen, I engage with space so I can fly to Imperial Star Destroyer and do convoys when I really feel bored and do whatever else I want in space. Mining asteroids is not what I'm here for. You got anything else, Flash? Nope. Nope. I'm good. All right, we're done with these assholes, I guess. That same response when somebody tells me to have a nice day. I was like, you can't make me. Go mine asteroids. Fuck you too, buddy. Might as well slap me across my face. All right, let's do some of the other Kachirho quests that we got. First of all, let's do the Brody Johnson one. Talk to Chorluke, because I'm going to forget to do that if we don't go do that. Here's Chorluke. What do you want? I have no patience or time for... I see you're looking for Brody Johnson. I'm sorry, I have nothing to say on the subject. How did you just intuit that? I didn't say anything. I sure Relax said Brody spoke to you. Yes, wait, come to think of it, you may be of use to me. What? Don't say that out loud. Zero charisma. I do remember Brody Johnson and would be willing to help you if you exchange... If in exchange you were willing to help me. Okay, what do you want me to do? I and my associates are in need of medical supplies. Times are especially tough at the moment, and one cannot be overly prepared, but we lack the resources necessary to get them via the normal channels. Therefore, I want you to intercept a shipment of supplies inbound to the Kashyyyk system. You'll be relieving some Gotal bandits of them. And trust me, those bandits didn't pay for the supplies easier. Yes, very well, I'll do it. So this is your introduction to the Gotals. If you've watched the Clone Wars animated series, the 3D one, they're the guys with the goat horns that go that bleh and stuff. In this canon, they are poachers, thieves, bleh, as represented in the game. So yeah, ripping off some Gotal bandits is cool. Negative one of the debate. Yeah, basically. So far, a lot of the characters we talked to in Kashyyyk aren't exactly brimming with personality. They're all kind of jerks. I don't know if the quest writer just kind of said fuck it, or they were just in a bad mood. Uh-oh. That took long. That was taking a suspiciously long time. Just escorting the bandit, a ship that has been taken over by an assault droid. Just vibing, you know, all that good shit. Uh-oh, incoming ships. We gotta protect our escort. I guess I picked the one that was furthest away. Yeah, these are all like tier 2s and some tier 3s. The ones that jumped us were all tier 2, but when we first flew up, I think there were some tier 3s in there, if I squinted. So to answer Bobo's question, is there any organic introduction to Aurelia / the original heroics? No. There might be an NPC somewhere in some city, like, dotted around Isley, where if you talk to them, they'll tell you about Aurelia. So, like, a good example of that is... I didn't talk to them during this playthrough, but there is a... If you spawn in front of the Isley starport and go towards the cantina, if you keep looking to the left, when you go around the corner, there's a woman standing there with a cloak. And if you talk to her, she's basically a tutorial bot. Like, she just has a bunch of dialogue to teach you about stuff, but nothing ever organically points you towards her to learn any of that. She'll just be like, yeah, this is how you do this, is to do this, you should go here to do this, to start out, that's over there. Like, a lot of people don't know she exists because they just don't bother talking to her because she's just a named NPC. I don't think she even has, like, the quest indicator above her head, like the eye icon. Because she technically doesn't give you a quest, I think. She just tells you a bunch of stuff. So an NPC like that might exist. But other than the Aurelia contacts in the starport, which I don't think they tell you anything. Actually, I could try after we do this mission, because I'm not Aurelia cleared yet. I don't think there's any other indication. Star Wars Galaxies wasn't exactly good about communicating new content as it released. Not that there was new content being released frequently. Like, for the life of this game, it hasn't gotten that much. Like, for how long this game was a thing, they did not put out much. But I guess that was because they were too busy remaking the game 3 times. Like skill trees weren't like the expertise trees came out like per profession over the course of a long period of time, which is kind of whack to think about considering how important they are to professions. Scared right in front of me. Let me go talk to Aurelia contact. I'm curious now. This is a good question. We'll go do the coronet one. Okay, so here's Aurelia contact. He just says, I'm sorry we cannot do business yet. You must speak with my counterpart in Aurelia. Where do I find them first? Search the wilds of Dathomir if you're strong enough to traverse the fog. That means nothing to me. So yeah, that's not very good introduction. There's probably an NPC somewhere. Like I think there's one in the science outpost that tells you about Aurelia. I know there's Aurelia contact in like the labor outpost, I think. It's kind of an unlock though. Yeah, because like if you try and drive into Aurelia below level 75, you can't get in. You have to be level 75 or higher to even drive into the area. Which, at least it's a point of interest on the map. So, like, you have a waypoint to it. Hold on. Can I talk to Dr. Price? Or is he a Imperial thing? Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. Hemoglobin. Yeah. Used to be 75 and Ace. Oh, yeah. I think it's been one or the other for a really long time. Having everyone also be an ace is kind of an ass move. Alright, here's Charluke. I appreciate your help in obtaining those medical supplies. In return, I'll tell you what I know. I have a contact in the hunting grounds to the south known as Aide. I think he might have information about Brody Johnson. Yes, Brody spoke to me, but I can't say much more than that. My contact might know more, though, because I do know that Brody went to Aide. How do I get into these hunting grounds? Aide is under control of some Rhodian hunters. They are very, very selective about who they let enter Coughs, their hunting grounds, to gain access. You'll need to speak with Kashyyyk, a Rhodian hunter, at the small Rhodian hunting camp near the gate of Aide. I'll go speak with Kashyyyk. Follow the path east to the town of Kachirho, and there you'll find him. Oh, and don't let Kashyyyk know you've been talking to me. That will pretty much guarantee you won't get in. For reference, you don't need to do the Brody Johnson quest to talk to Kashyyyk, I believe. The Brody Johnson quest is only a requirement to get in the Harak Glade within the Aide hunting grounds, but you don't need to get it into Aide. All right, let's do some other of the stuff we have around here. Let's go find the woman by the water to go deliver a package for. Why do you hate space now, Momo? My feelings about space on live are similar to Legends. If anything, I like space more now because Legends has made aspects of it more accessible. All right, here's Sir Jossie. We got to deliver the package to her. Please tell me Rose sent you. Yes, and I brought you your packed box. Oh, thank you. Rose said something about payment. Oh, yes, here's your free. It was no problem. Hey, are you new to Kashyyyk? Yes, this is my first trip through the region. Side eyes. Well, Kashyyyk could be a dangerous place if you don't know where you're going. That's fine. I know how to take care of myself. Well, if you're up to it, I could use a bit of help. What sort of thing do you have in mind? There are some Wookiees down near an old abandoned village that have been stricken with madness. The Trandoshan invasion has had mixed results among the populace, and this is just one sign. Sounds tragic to be sure. What would you want me to do about it? They are mad creatures and will attack anybody on sight. The Wookiees from Kachirho won't kill their own. The Trandoshans don't care about a Wookiee. They can't enslave. There is a local bounty office that will pay you for proof of their destruction. And bounty, you say? How much? Bounties pay 1,000 per Wookiee destroyed. The office has limited hunters to 10 Wookiees destroyed per bounty, and you must be able to prove their sickness. How would I do that? When the madness sets in, their health erodes some. A common manifestation is the teeth, which will corrode quickly. Take a tooth from each Wookiee you kill for the proof. I'll do it. Credits are always welcome. There's an abandoned Wookiee village to the north. They all end up there when madness settles, and I do not know what the draw of this place is. That is a weird situation to be in. Hey, here's some freedom fighters. Not that we need buffs, but I have them, so why not? Eevee's quite literally the only in space because it's just dated and unenjoyable for you. Back on live, it was actually innovative and new. The only other fleshed out current space game was Eve, and Eve's space is far less refined than SWG. Eve is quite literally the only space because it's cheap to develop something empty and spend all of your dev money on making these ships look as pretty as possible. There's no environment to build, just a sandbox. I've only heard good things about EVE Online. I've never played it myself, but then again, everyone who says good things about it were people who enjoyed messing with spreadsheets. I know that's like the trope, but no, I killed you not. Like, if I had coworkers who had tricks for like improving their workflow, it always resulted in them using a spreadsheet. And then I would always ask, "Do you play EVE Online?" They're like, "Oh yeah, hundreds of hours." Like, EVE Online's made me better at using spreadsheets, and I'm like, cool. Oh yeah, we could find Kashyyyk while we're out here. So if you head north from the village up this way, towards the Riot Trail, if you put on Point of Interest, you'd see it. So the Riot Trail here. We found Takuk. He's dead. That's with the video recording. We had a message saying, "Message start. I do not have much time left. Lobaror, he attacked me. He wanted my father's spear, so he took it from me. Please, whoever finds this message, grant my dying request. Recover my father's spear from Lobaror and let my honor come back to me. Lobaror always told me a hiding spot on the Riot Trail. I think he will go there. My time is short now. I hope Kashyyyk forgives me for leaving him." We'll do so. Lobaror, yeah, is in the Riot Trail. We'll be doing that later when we go to the Riot Trail. For now, we're not gonna worry about it. All right, here is the Wookiees we have to liberate from their madness. Maybe I should just use my carbine. They're all level 23. It'd be faster. You love Eve, you just don't do spreadsheets or anything, though. It's not a space game, it's an empty sandbox. It's closer to an RTS than piloting anything. Huh, interesting. Huh, you can fly ships in first person? Weird. Like, I know I always zoom out when I'm flying in Galaxies, but, like, I feel like part of, like, I know probably flying zoomed out is still better because of the, you know, increased information. But, have we found any yet, dude? Okay, I found 5 at least. Oh, we can go fight freedom fighters while we wait for these guys to respawn, I guess. Or we can go collect the survey recorders. That's probably a thing to do, and just hit the other enemies as we show up. I've been kind of driving by them because I've been just forgetting, but we can get some of these. Bolitar Beach. Let's just go clockwise. Riot Trail Gate. Clockwise from where we are, I guess. Yay. Well, I think the Slaver Camp one's that one, actually. Alright, so here's the right. You can put a camp here? Excuse me? That's a thing? I've never tried. I legit do not know you could put camps in the Kachirho area. Wild. I've never tried. I just never thought to. Huh. Alright, well anyways, there's the Riot Trail Gate survey recording. Okay, we've got all the resistance fighters. Where's the survey recorder? See, it's funny. He's like, "Oh, I'll put them in your journal," but then he doesn't just give you waypoints. I'm not a huge fan of like flight games. I like dabbling in them, so that's probably why I'm not terribly into the space aspect of this game. I generally lean towards the flight games that are more arcadey. Oh, right. So when you defeat Wookiees in this area, you can loot a Lolo Bolocaster power handler, which are required for the bowcaster schematics. Yeah, if you kill a lot of Wookiees, you're gonna get an end day with these things. They're not exactly rare. I wouldn't worry about saving them to sell on the bazaar. You can, but I'm just gonna take the time to delete them as we drive back this way and look for the data recorder. Maybe it was just further up. I was like right in the middle of the area. I didn't see it. right, so we have the slaver camp, Aide Gate. Let's go back to the Wookiee village, because that's kind of on the way to the slaver camp. Actually, it is on the way to the slaver camp. Okay, cool. So there's that. Why am I here? Oh, is this for the Geonosian quest that I've been ignoring? Find the evil Trandoshan researchers inside the camp and bring their documents to the imprisoned Geonosian. Okay. Forgot to do that. I believe all the researchers are far towards the back here. Or some of them are. 2 more over here. Wow, this guy didn't appreciate us killing all the other Trandoshans. And there's 3 more. They'll die from that. It's fine. All right. Let's go get the survey data recorder. I'm glad I drove near that camp because I forgot we had that one. So you saw there's some quest givers in there. We're just going to do all the Trandoshan stuff way later because a lot of it ends up being really high level at one point or another. I think it's right here. All right, I'm going to go to the Aide hunting grounds, which is right over here. I wish like the isolationist Wookiee village had a shortcut so I didn't have to drive all the way around one way or the other. But we're not so lucky. And here is the last recorder right in front of the door. All right, so we'll stop with Dr. Farnsworth first because we're right here. You have returned. I am very pleased to see that nothing has happened to you. I was getting rather worried that you might have been injured recovering my data for me. No, I am fine. I have all your data. What a wonderful news. I hope you enjoyed your little tour of the areas around Kachirho. It's such a nice country. I appreciate you helping a poor old doctor out and allowing me to give you this. I got Mr. back when I was doing a study of the galactic history, but I had no need for it here. Maybe you'll enjoy it. So he gives us a Clone Wars painting, which you all recognize from the Great Hunter quest line. Yeah, you can get this painting twice. I think you can only get the Grievous painting once, but this one you get twice. Don't know why. All right, here's your return. Please tell me if you found out what we talked about. I believe so. Have a look at this. I hand things through the bars in front of guards. No one cares. Start to skim through the documents. This is perfect. You have to show this to one of the Wookiee elders immediately. Excellent. Who do I talk to? Elder Ovara. She's up in the tree. We kind of waved at her earlier, but we didn't do anything. Yeah, I gotta go up in the tree anyways to talk to the colonel, so might as well. I still wonder how this Clone Wars painting added up as a reward twice. Maybe someone used it on one reward quest and they either forgot with the other or just somebody doubled down on it. She got in the cage. She talked to him. He's lonely. Nah, that's fine. I don't know where he's going to the bathroom. I don't want to get in the cage and step in something, you know? I take it that from the big grin on your face. That job is done. Those Wookiees should have known better than to mess with someone like you. Good job. My payment? Yeah, I suppose you want to get paid. Well, here you go, bub. If you're interested, there are still more Wookiees that need a lesson taught to them. Same deal as before. Kill 15. I'll look elsewhere for adventure. Your choice. Yeah, so Kashyyyk has a few of these where it's just repeatable. I'm not really big on killing Wookiee resistance fighters. I did it once for demonstration purposes, but yeah, don't feel obligated to do that one if it's out of your character's RP, that's for sure. I forget. The Elder's on the 3rd floor? No, she's over there. I see her. Here's Avara. May I help you? Hopefully you're involved with the... perhaps you can look at these documents. What are they? Just look at them. How about I have my friends over there tell you learn from them? Fine, and their evidence against the trial on the Geonosian. I'm not too surprised that trial wasn't one of my people's most honorable moments, and I could tell something wasn't right through all of it. So what happens now? Well, the fact remains that he did commit a crime by bribing one of our guards, but I will see that he gets a lenient punishment for that. He should be able to get out of there soon. Now, how did you get these documents? I found them at a camp the Geonosian talked about. Excellent. How did you manage to convince the Trandoshan to get these up, though? I'm afraid I had no choice but to use violence. The political answer. In these days, it seems to be a necessary evil. For stopping these schemes, we're all in your dead, Mom. I will send out a patrol to the area to make sure that more of the research material, that no more of the research material is out there. You should go to the Junos to know the good news. Cool. No, I will not get in the cage. You cannot cage me. My Bothan is free to rampage the galaxy. Did you talk to everyone? What did she say? She didn't say she was surprised, but what I showed her. Really, what will happen now? You have to sit some time off, but for the bribe, that's it. What? I practically stopped the oceans from enslaving their whole species, and they want me to sit off my time for one silly little bribe? I didn't think they want to do this, but for all of you done and the Wookiees' arrogance, I will. I don't know, dude. You still broke the law. You're talking about, I have a word for you, so listen carefully. I'm all ears. A few years ago, I was a scientist at a lab on the fourth moon of Yavin. At that time, it was a safe place for, and most of the research was peaceful. My job was to try and gather DNA strands from useful animals across the galaxy. One of these was this sacred Bolitar that these Wookiees don't let any other species use. I've seen them; they're impressive. Yes, they are formidable writing mounts. The DNA strands to create your very own Bolitar should still be in my suitcase at the lab. Interesting. If you're interested, travel there and find the mag seal container I stored it in. My lab was very close to the surface. Luckily, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Be careful though. I've heard rumors and stories. I've heard stories of what goes on in that lab nowadays. I should be fine. I hope so. The lab can be found at the coordinates on the movie Yavin 4. Again, thank you very much for all you've done to me and good luck. We are not going to go there now. That is the Geonosian cave. You can go there solo, go in the first room, grab the thing and leave, but we'll do the whole Geonosian cave at a later time. And then we collect the bounty for stuff. I'm going to collect a bounty here. Bounty is what one? We have a number of them out for mad Wookiees in the countryside. I have some teeth. Ah, yes, those disgusting creatures. Look, do you have my credits or not? Okay, 10,000. Why? I don't know why we just can't get a Stormtrooper County down there and get these things. So what do you do here? I give away money because I enjoy making people happy. What do you think I do here? I'm a bounty officer. I post and redeem bounties. Okay, whatever. All right, here we go. So that's basically the whole Kachirho area for now. We'll be coming back here like later to talk to Kashyyyk after we retrieve his spear, and other quests will bring us back here. But that's basically everything you do in here. There's also some more quests scattered around the greater Kachirho area, which we will get to later. But for right now, it's getting long, but we've did a lot today. We did Secrets of the Sirens. We got our G9 ITV. We got our ARC-170. That was pretty cool. We started dipping our toes in Kashyyyk. Next time, I think we'll be getting into the Deadwood area, start doing quests in there, eventually being at Aide. Might also slip in some other quests now and then to add some variety. But thanks for everybody, and see you next time.